Hello?
Listen, it's Thomas. Mom's in trouble. She's in an ambulance.
Trapped in Fromville, where nightmares collide. Monsters in the shadows, nowhere to hide. Lighthouse flickers, visions in the dark. Every step forward, another ripped apart. Street filled with whispers, eyes always peek. Nightmares descend, sanity's on the streak. Doors creak open, shadows start to move. Town's got a rhythm, every step's a groove. Fromville nights, monsters out to feed. Trapped in visions, fear plants the seed. Lighthouse calls, but escapes a myth. Nightmares wrap around on an endless drift. Screams echo through the misty air. Every corner turned, you find despair. Hope is a phantom, trapped in the gloom. Monsters own the night, sealing your doom. Town's got secrets, buried underground. Every lost soul, here they are found. Cursed by the darkness, can't break free. Vision after vision, haunting memories. Fromville nights, monsters out to feed. Trapped in visions, fear plants the seed. Lighthouse calls, but escapes a myth. Nightmares wrap around on an endless drift.
What ambulance?
You see, she's on her way. You have to help her. You can't be afraid.
Who is this?
I told you, it's Thomas.
Who is this really?
What is this?
Fromville nights, monsters out to feed. Trapped in visions, fear plants the seed. Lighthouse calls, but escapes a myth. Nightmares wrap around on an endless drift.
Why are we in here?
Because it's a fort.
Why do you need me?
Because I don't want to do this alone. I'm gonna have to remember some scary things. You're the scariest person here, so it won't scare you.
And welcome everybody. Happy Monday to you all. We are back again for another Fromville content creator roundtable discussion. And joining us tonight, we have special guests with us. We have Baby Clay Media and Reaction hanging out with us tonight. We got the new Watchers on the Wall hanging out with us tonight. What's up? What's up? And we got the JH Review hanging out with us tonight. And of course, my awesomest co-host, Miss Dana Marie, hanging with us as well. What is up, guys? How y'all doing?
Doing great. Doing great.
Doing good.
Doing
What's
amazing.
going on, everybody?
Probably.
Yes. And we are here to discuss this week's episode of From Season 3, There and Back Again. And it feels like, it's a very fitting title, I would say. There and Back Again, as if Tabitha didn't have enough of a roller coaster. She ended right back up in Fromville and right back in Colony House in a very similar manner as she did when she first arrived. Looking at Donna right in the face, this time with Donna's shocking eyes as to how did she make it back. So lots to discuss tonight, along with the Fromville song that you guys have been working so hard on. We are going to vote on that tonight. So in a few minutes, I will put a poll up in the chat for you guys so you can vote all night long on your favorite option. We have 3 options. The Boyd is Back Again was the winner. Or is Boyd is Back in Town? I'm sorry. I always mess it up. I keep messing up the title.
It's because you really want Jim Can Suck It and it just didn't win. So, we had to default to the Boyd is Back in Town.
The Boyd is Back in Town. Yes, that is the winner. And we have 3 slight different variations of it. We have 1 male singer. We have 2 female singers. Those have been in the Discord for about a week now. So if you guys want to, I can play them again in a little bit after we say hello to you guys in the chat. But otherwise, I will have them up. We have it'll be male singer, and then it'll be female singer 1, female singer 2. And you guys will get to vote on that. And then we will get started on the next stage of that, which is the video editing. I cannot wait. But with that, I will say hello to you guys, see who is hanging out with us tonight before we dive into the episode. And let's see who we got. First and foremost tonight, we got Woodrow Nichols hanging out with us tonight. Welcome, welcome, hon. Always glad to see you. I see Jeremy Bullard hanging out with us as well. Evening all. Evening to you, hon. We got Bitey hanging out with us. Welcome all. Please hit the like and subscribe. Yes, Bitey, thank you and welcome to you, hon. Always a great supporter. I see Betray King. Yeah, I know we was a little late, okay? It's fashionably late, BK.
Yes.
I'm sorry. Look, we had to have our hair done.
Right? We had to look pretty.
That's right. Dana's got her sexy voice on.
I do. I'm ready.
That's right. We've made it. We're here. We are together, Fromville, and we're gonna get there. And who else do we got hanging with us tonight? As always, I see the awesome Delcinia.
There's our rock star.
Oh yeah. See who else we got as I scroll down. I see Vic hanging with us. What is up, hun? Always glad to see you. We got Fletcher, I'm gonna say it wrong. Cromanacle.
Yeah.
Because I want to say Cromanacle, but then I always say that word wrong when we're actually talking about it in the show. I don't know what it is. Vowels. I have a hard time with vowels. It's a southern thing, maybe. I don't know. We got AP hanging out with us tonight. Welcome, AP. And I see Debbie Ebibo Bebby hanging out with us tonight. Let's see, I think, did I get everybody? I think I saw somebody else too up there. If I missed somebody, I apologize. But I do see the Grumbledore hanging out with us tonight.
I said to share to your
Yes.
family.
I see PM hanging out with us tonight. And I see Daryl Seymour hanging out with us. I see Quan Solar. What's up, guys? I'm just making sure. Oh, I see Crazy Man.
I was just gonna say we can't forget about Crazy.
Yes.
We can't forget about Crazy.
We got Garrett family in the house. What is up, hun? I see Isha in the house. What is up? MJ Jones. What is up? What is up, hun? And Golden Child hanging with us tonight as well. I think that is everybody. I'm all caught up. So,
yep. And I think the watchers on the wall said hello to everybody. So if you want to just give them a wrench so they can drop their links.
About to go over.
I feel like dropping their links.
YouTube. That's what I'm about to do, so I can put the poll in the chat as well.
Yep.
So I'm getting ready to do that right now. If you want to take over for Dana.
Sure.
Wait. Do you have your
so there we go. Let's see who else we got with us. Yep. Any of our mods who want to plug the channels, feel free to go ahead. You guys can all drop the links whenever you guys feel like it. But man, what an episode. I don't know about you guys, but this episode had me from start to finish glued to the TV. I don't know about you guys. Were you guys as excited this episode as I was?
Yes, but there were two spots I would say that I kind of tuned out.
Which ones? Tell me.
The cabin. It was not necessary.
You don't think?
I didn't get anything from it.
I know. I feel like we just got more creepy footsteps outside.
Yeah. I think that like was to actually pull in. I'm sorry, but I think that was actually for them to show the scene where Christy actually tells Jay or asks Jay, "Is this a hallucination, or is this real?" Like, how did you know
I
that
did
you were
like that
hallucinating earlier? You know what I'm saying?
Yeah, I mean, I think it could be that, and I also think they wanted to show that them trying to repair the relationship a little bit, because Kenny, his whole attitude and demeanor kind of changed toward her during the previous episode when they were picking the vegetables and stuff, and it was like, yo, stop talking to me. Let's get these vegetables together. But I think it could have been both, like what you were saying. They wanted Jade to share some of that information, but then also I think they wanted us to see the repairing of the relationship between Kenny and Christy as well.
That's what I think. I just think that scene was just to show the repair of Kenny and Jade's relationship, and they made sure they showed Christy saying you'll never be alone, Kenny. They had to put that in there again. I don't know why, but they put it in there again. So yeah, I think that was the reason why that was up there.
I don't want to. I don't care. I don't want to see that unless there's going to be like some crazy like colony house threesome going on. I can care less. Sorry, that was inappropriate. I'm sorry. That was inappropriate.
Are we talking about monsters, entities, all
It's
types?
it's okay. There's nothing. This show ain't nothing inappropriate if you ask me, because this show is fucking crazy.
Candace,
but I guess we'll jump right into it. So let's start with what everybody's favorite moment from the episode was. We'll start with you, JH. What was your favorite moment from this episode?
Of course, Boyd dropping like at least 10 F-bombs.
Oh, the boy temper tantrum.
Yeah.
I love seeing that.
Yeah, definitely when he had to make that hard choice.
He said, "Fuck you, motherfucker! Give me the keys." I said, "Shit."
Look, that whole scene had me a little upset. We were talking about how, like, man, he should have been running monsters over in that doggone F-350 ambulance, but I digress.
He could have zigzagged a little bit. He could have, done some stuff. So your favorite part, JH, was Boyd just dropping them F-bombs all episode, huh?
Yeah.
What about you, watchers? What was your favorite moment this episode?
You better not take mine as Candace, but go ahead.
I think I already know what it's going to be. It is also mine too, but another one is where Bacta tells Tilly, "Don't you be playing them damn
tarot cards.
Tarot cards. Going around and you got some tarot cards out."
Yeah.
I completely agree with her.
We felt that to our core. You know what I'm saying?
That sounds like one of our parents just in the house telling us don't do no crazy stuff. Don't you play with that Ouija board.
Exactly.
Oh, hell yeah. Don't you bring that Ouija board up in this house.
Not up in this thing. I would say that mine was definitely Victor and the salt that was thrown.
Oh my God.
When Victor was like, I needed you to come in this tent with me because I got to tell this scary story. It's going to be scary. But the thing is, you're one of the scariest things in here, Sarah. So I know it won't scare you. I was like, Victor is not playing with these jokers.
Shady.
And he's like, yeah, my family did die, but unlike my family, I didn't kill them myself. I was like, damn, Victor, like
harsh, right?
Oh,
that stung a little bit. It stung.
I was like, Victor, slow down. No chaser, dog. Like, golly.
And Sarah's just taking it. She's just
sip on it a second, Victor. Just take a little sip. You gotta chug it. What about you, Baby Clay? What was your favorite part of this episode?
Oh man. I'm gonna have to say the Boyd and Randall interaction for real. Like when he went in, not when he took the keys and dipped out on Randall, not then, but when he actually asked Randall, why did you choose to stay? And Randall goes on this little conversation on, death isn't the worst thing that could happen to you here. So I took a little bit from that, but we'll get into that later in the video. But I actually, that was one of my favorite scenes of the whole episode, definitely. And then how he was saying how the monsters had patterns, and tonight they wasn't doing those same patterns. So I like that scene.
What about you, Scarlett? What was your favorite part of the episode?
You gotta have to choose. There's so many juicy ones. I kind of like the Fatima scenes just because I'm really invested in Fatima's story.
I figured you'd like Fatima digging up in that body. Why'd I figure that'd be your favorite moment?
Well, because I already said she threw me off with the vegetables. I was like, man, she's going to eat blood and organs back before the season started. And then she went for the vegetables and I was like, dang, man, she ain't ever going to eat the organs. And then she went for the blood and I was like, they threw me off. was like, all right, so she might actually, like, I'm waiting to see the next episode. Is she still in that room when we start in the next episode? And how deep did she go in this body? Like, is somebody going to notice?
Is she elbow deep? Is she like elbow deep up in there, just scooping
like,
out
is she somebody's going to have to notice this because she went like fishing around, and I don't know. Maybe she just took a little bit.
I thought she was going to eat some flesh.
Right? Like,
Yeah,
somebody's going to notice.
It's Golden Corral buffet, you know.
It was off camera. I don't know.
I mean, somebody. I didn't even put the screenshot up. I'm sorry.
But she
Somebody
wasn't even shy about
It was
it.
the
She
best
not
fried
shy.
chicken she
Like,
ever had.
Look, she was
Don't
all
play.
up in it. She was playing.
She wasn't
with it.
shy about it at all.
Fingers.
Oh, I feel so bad that she died. I just want to sit here and show how sad I am. She wanted food.
Look,
she didn't
she's
give
so
a shit
sad.
that
Look
lady
at that
died.
face. Look, that is not a sad face. That is
I'm finna drink
A
something.
That is
buffet.
dinner bell ringing.
yes.
Yeah.
That is dinner bell ringing.
That's dinner bell.
I mean, she
Buffet
closed
style.
that door immediately. I wonder if Ellis on the other side turned around and was like, "What the hell? She closed the door for?" Maybe he did it. I don't know. But
Yeah, he walked off, but it is weird, man, that she would want to spend some significant time in there with a dead body.
Yeah.
Nobody questions.
And nobody questions it. Nobody asks questions.
She was in
I was
mourning.
saying, I can't wait to
She
see.
was
Like, is somebody gonna
sad.
know this? Like, she messed with the body. Is anybody? These people got to notice, right? At some point, somebody got to speak up and say something.
Yeah, Fatima the mortician, you know what I'm saying?
Right?
And then she
The
gonna
bullet
kiss
hole,
Ellis
she's a
in the
bullet hole.
mouth next episode.
oh,
Ugh, I know, right?
Ugh.
Ugh, it's so gross. But I'm invested to see where it's gonna go. Like, is she gonna? I'm assuming she's gonna have a baby, but is it just a baby, or is she gonna Twilight? What is it? The Twilight movie, where she had turned into a vampire after she still had the baby, but she still turned into a vampire. So is she gonna have a baby and still turn into a monster after?
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know.
I think the baby is what's making her eat what she is, wanting to eat right now. I don't.
Yeah.
It could be a possibility she's changing as well, but I think the baby, if
Well, that's
she
how they
is
did it in Twilight, right? Like she had
Yeah,
she had to drink the
exactly.
blood for the baby, but then because of the amount of strain on her body, they decided to go ahead and change her into a vampire in the end.
Yeah.
So I'm saying, like, is she still going to be headed to be
My question is if somebody in this town or county house finds out what she's doing, I can't wait to see the people's reaction when they find out what's going on here, because somebody's going to catch her slipping. Tilly caught her slipping already, but it wasn't a heavy slip. But I'm telling you, I'm waiting on her to make a slip, and I want to see people's reaction, especially Donna, see what these people say.
Donna will be ready to throw her a baby shower and then make a little girl into a cake. I mean,
I know. Look. Her. Look. This is even worse. So I'm sorry. This is her and Boyd are cheersing. I mean, I know they're trying to take the edge off while Randall's still outside. Nobody went after Randall. They were just like, he's gone. They're just like, yeah, it's been a rough night. Cheers.
Nobody cared.
I'm sorry.
And there's Randall with his cheek flapping in the wind, just cheek bits just hanging there. He's just on the ambulance. Like anybody?
I'm trying to see how are they gonna patch him up?
Hey, don't show my boy like that.
Well, look, I have to, because there's some. All right, there's some. No, I wouldn't say like arguing enough, but I'm trying to figure out how much blood. Okay, because see, he's got some scratches on his neck, and he made a gurgling sound. So he was technically alive, but how alive is he? I haven't seen anything for the next episode.
He's alive.
Okay.
I'm
He's got some scratches on the neck.
If you believe the episode descriptions, he's alive.
Okay. Well, see, I didn't read that.
And I think he's got to be alive too, because I think that there's going to be some turmoil between him and Boyd, and then just people in general. I think people are going to start to question Boyd's leadership, because you left this guy behind. 10 gets killed in the barn, and they let you live
twice.
Exactly. So I think they need Randall to be around for that, because there's going to be some turmoil. And then I still think, man, contrary to popular belief, I still think Randall is a good guy. And I think he showed that in this episode. I mean, he put his own life on the line to help others. And I think that if they do come up with this crazy idea to use a trap, I think he's going to be a valuable asset to making it do what it do.
I know Randall's definitely come out like this episode, well, really since the start of this season. But the way he talked to Boyd in this episode definitely made you aware. Like, he's like, oh, now your team players, like, whatever it takes to get out of here. What I've seen, I don't know what you've seen, but what I've seen, I want to get the hell up out of here.
Exactly.
Real quick, I'm gonna get
Those
to
are
the
some-
chat and see what they are
Yep.
saying. Let's see. Daryl Seymour says, my favorite moment was Fatima and the body. Yes, I couldn't agree more. Definitely a gruesome scene watching her take part. And what Nikki's the other dark meat? I don't know. Oh God, the
harsh
jokes.
people, harsh.
Oh God, the morbid jokes that are gonna come out of the show.
I know. I can see
Woodrow,
the memes now.
my goodness, I know. Woodrow says, thus it is postulated that Dale went through a tree and came back like some teleportation tragedy in Star Trek. Ooh, is it? We don't know much about Dale. He's a little interesting one himself. C. Delcenia says, I like the cabin scene. It was the first time we witnessed folks sharing information. Yes, I'm so proud of this episode. We're starting to get a little talking.
Yes.
Fine. Only took 3 seasons.
Right? Well, how long did it take in Lost? I know that's going to throw us off just for a second, but
How long did what take in Lost? You got to elaborate.
For them to start talking, because I distinctively remember one of the episodes where, oh my God, what was his? I'm trying to remember his name. Dana is one of your favorite ones too. The one that was over the food.
Oh, Hurley.
Yeah, remember when he was like, he said something to one of them and they looked at him all sideways. He was like, what? I didn't know he didn't know that. Like, did you know there was a polar bear? Like, nobody's talking.
I know my Hurley. I was always a Hurley girl. And he was so nice when I met him. Like, I love him. He's my favorite.
Mm-hmm.
But no, those are some good points. So now that we've got,
hang on, I got just a few more. Fletcher says, I didn't like Boyd's behavior towards Acosta, a person that arrived in Fromville at night. Obviously, she would be in shock and start shooting everyone. If you have monsters that look like people, and yes, particularly she was actually aiming for the monster that ripped on Boyd in the barn. She was aiming for him, and then you can actually see our girl Nikki peeking through the window just behind his shoulder, right as she shot.
If I remember correctly, Abby was quick to pull out her gun when Father Kotri ran up to the car, like, you guys need to get out of here. She went for her gun awful quick. So she shot a bunch of people too. So like, you yelling at somebody for shooting somebody. Don't you remember what your wife did?
Yeah.
Will Fletcher, that was my second favorite part. I'm sorry.
She.
I found that.
I thought he was gonna give her that boy slap.
He tried to.
Oh my God, I would have died.
No, look, he was going to. He was absolutely going to, and then I think what Donna and his son kind of stopped him.
Mm-hmm. Do you like what you did?
What you do, Smack? What you do, Smack?
I would have. I'm telling y'all. I don't mean to interrupt.
Hey,
but I would have died laughing if you would have slapped that girl for shooting niggas.
Right?
Damn, you slapped a customer person for a person you didn't fuck with like that. I'm like, okay. This next scene, this is crazy.
They ain't gonna do our boy like that because he would lose all respect in the community.
He's gonna let you yell at her. No slapping. We just gonna let you fucking yell at her.
Me of Frank when he was dragging her, about to drag her.
He did. He's got her right. He got her, and then Ellis grabs him, and he's like, "Man, what?" And then he goes, and Donna comes down the steps, and he's like pointing at Donna, like he's ready to go at Donna. And she had to tell him, "Boy, calm down."
Yeah,
my boy plays fuck with God. I said, he going through it.
He was not. Look, he was telling Donna.
He was hot.
Anybody. He didn't care. His son, anybody who touched him in that moment, because he was mad too that he left Randall out there. He took a little bit of that out on the officer.
Yeah, that's what somebody wrote in the comments. They said, "Boy feeling guilty about leaving Randall behind."
I'm sorry. I'm looking at the daggum screenshots. Where is it at? Y'all, dang it, Data. I'm not doing a good job here. I'm losing track.
It's okay because the chat is on fire.
They is on fire. And I got 2 more to get through. We got Crazy Mad saying my least favorite part was Donna and Jim are still alive. Well, that's
damn it, Crazy. I'll agree with you on Jim, but not my girl Donna. Come on.
Half accurate.
Hey, we don't trust Donna, y'all.
Yeah, both.
Look,
I
man,
know.
I don't
She's
trust
my
her.
girl though.
Look, man,
That's
she
my
breaking
girl.
down. They breaking her down. Real. I still trust her. I trust. The only person I don't trust so far is Tilly.
and Clara. We can. If
I know.
really,
I trust Clara.
Really,
see?
people, Clara.
Nope.
That
The only
girl is
person I
always
don't
popping
trust
up.
is Tilly.
That girl's always popping
And we
up
got
in some
Garrett.
crazy places.
We got Garrett family saying how Baca know about spirit work. Her grandma maybe taught her. Yes, so she might have been known a little bit when she was talking to Tilly about them cards. She might have been trying to tell her you playing around with stuff.
Playing
in a
around
place like this.
I know, but those are some good points. So now that we got your favorite moments, what were your least? What is the one part of the episode that I know, JH, you said your least favorite was the cabin, but was there anything else?
The suitcase was a letdown.
Yeah, a lie. I've been seeing that a lot. That people were really not feeling the suitcase.
Yep. Yeah, because even MGM shared an image on their From MGM page or whatever on Instagram, and this was before the episode started, and they had Victor's suitcase with like a little teaser looking inside of it. So I was expecting him to open that thing, and it was supposed to be some amazing reveals and stuff, and it was a little bit of a letdown. And I felt like every time I feel like we're about to get something good, they make Victor have a tantrum. And he had this tantrum, and he rips the tent down, and he runs out. And it's like, why does that happen so often? Every time we get so close to getting ready to get a little bit of information, man, it just killed me on that part.
What about you guys, watchers? Anything that you just didn't?
Yeah, I got one for you. When Boy left Randall, because he was so gung ho about killing a monster, trapping a monster, and the whole time I was thinking, I just know he's about to run these motherfuckers over. That's what I was thinking. Like, it's a big old truck. And I'm like, he could have ran over a couple of the monsters and knocked them over and stuff like that and saved Randall. And I just was really shocked that he didn't take that opportunity to try to attack him and go on the offensive. I just didn't get that. Yeah.
My least favorite scene is the cabin. I just felt like it was just not needed. And then also the scene with Tabitha and Jim in Calling House, to me, is like, if y'all are not going to talk about what happened, then I don't need to see that. I don't need to see y'all having a reunion.
One more. Ethan ass running out the house again.
Oh, yeah.
One more.
Yeah.
This dude, Ethan, is killing me, dude. This is the third time this Joker then ran away. And I'm like, at a certain point, brother, you got to understand the repercussions of your actions, man. He ran away. Miss Chin had to snatch his ass up 3 episodes ago. He runs away when the goat is outside. And then this episode, he go running outside again. And I don't know, man. I would have to throw Ethan outside.
Ethan needs to see what those monsters can do.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Because he compromising the whole house. He's a danger. I wouldn't even be able to go to sleep at night with this Joker in the house.
No.
You would have to sleep in shifts.
Yeah, I mean, he's worse than the dude, the little boy in Colony House. He worse than her.
He worse than Megan. I agree. He worse than Megan, because let me tell you,
I do not condone locking children in closets, but I'm thinking Ethan is he might be the exception.
Yeah.
He might have to be the exception, because that boy does just like running out the house, knowing there's some crazy shit going on outside.
He is a menace.
Too crazy.
All it takes is one tap at the window and the monster's gonna say, "Hey, I'm the Criminal,"
or "Hey,"
and I guarantee you
he's gonna learn.
Like,
my name's Norman.
BTA.
My name's Norman.
I ain't with beating on your kids, but Ethan need a little BTA. I ain't gonna lie. Left the ass. He need a little bit, just a tad bit.
Just a little bit. What about you, Scarlett? What was your least favorite moment of the episode?
I'm probably, I'm not so harsh because I liked it all. Least, cabin, only because I was hoping to see a little bit more out of the whole episode. That one, because I was hoping that they were going to actually show maybe something, a little peek of something that was busting in, or even Jade having another vision or something. I don't know what I was expecting from the cabins, but I was expecting a little bit more. Otherwise, I actually enjoyed the rest of the episode. I didn't even mind the suitcase, because for me, it's solidifying something between what the boy in white is asking Victor to do and something I think the monsters also do, which is collect items from people and to bury them.
Right, because we saw that in the cave.
So I think there's some significance to that. That's it's not going to be the what we think it is, and he was looking for something for Christopher. So I'm hoping that they're not going to drop it, and it's going to have more meaning with the lost items or the significant items, almost like a time capsule that's buried in the ground to remember people.
Yep.
As if this place collects lost souls to be forgotten, things, people to be lost and then to be forgotten. But this is a way to remember them forever, and it's almost as if the monsters want to do that too because they're still holding on to that little bit of life. I don't know. It's just weird. There was something to me weird about the items, the way the boy in white asked him. So I still enjoyed that scene.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see.
What about our chat, Scarlett? What are some of what are they saying? Some of their least favorite moments were?
Well, let's see. I don't know if I got some of those, but I do got some chats. And let's see. Daryl says, I wanted Boyd to show the cop the dead body up close the same way he showed Frank his family's body. And he did attempt to. He definitely attempted to. He got stopped. Epsy says, maybe they're finally getting to him with a you can't save them all. Absolutely. They are giving him a choice after choice after choice. Very hard decisions this season amongst who to save.
Right.
Woodrow says, disarm the stupid cop and cuff her. Yes, look, I knew she was going to cuff. I was wondering if they were going to cuff Tabitha or drug Tabitha because one of the two was going to have to happen. There was no way that they were just going to let her continue to spew on about craziness and then not cuff her or do something like, sedate her. So when they cuffed her, I was like, yeah, that's not good. They going to cuff her.
Fight me.
Because she didn't even fight.
You're not cuffing me.
Right? I would have been like, oh, hell no. I would have hit him up. I would have hit her with the lunchbox. Like,
you
ain't cuffing me.
For that.
She didn't even have the lunchbox anymore. They done confiscated the lunchbox. So what's going to happen with that? It's still in the ambulance, right? Is that ever going to make it back to Victor? Who knows? Let's see what else we got. I just says, I think Ethan will die this season. Ooh. Heavy. And it's possible.
I think the monsters are after Ethan, though, because even when they let the goats out, that woman monster was standing right outside his door, hoping Ethan would open the door. And I also think that warning over the phone where the monster said, hey, your mom's in that car. Some people are saying that, hey, it was a warning so that he could help or they can help his family. But I actually think it was a warning so that hoping that he would actually go outside again. Because I think he has some type of, I don't want to say powers or relationship to this place, similar in like how Victor is in some ways. And they're trying to get him. And I think the town has been trying to get Victor for years, but he's been constantly escaping and using the tunnels, using the trees and all of that kind of stuff. And maybe the boy in white has been helping him. And I think the town is trying to get Ethan.
Ooh, absolutely. I actually absolutely agree with that because the way that phone call goes down in particular, he tells Ethan to be brave. You need to go save your mom and be brave.
They want him to go out there.
And he did exactly that. He watched, he waited, and he hightailed his ass out there.
Yep.
And they've been, what was it, back in season 1, even when Sarah was going after Ethan, she locked away Tabitha to get Tabitha away from him. Now the boy in white took Tabitha away. Ethan's been going on that downward spiral. Now, why is Tabitha back? I don't know, but they're definitely trying to almost get Ethan alone.
They are.
Definitely.
Absolutely agree with that one.
That's the reason why Alma was by herself and not with the rest of the, animals. Cows in the sheep. He set that up because I think about it. You might be right, brother, because it seemed like everything is planned with this place. Like they know they know what the next move is because they know, they've been through this before.
Oh yeah.
Oh yes. This place
and they
is
even
very
said
meticulous.
What did it tell Jim? Something like they're not your kids anymore.
Right.
Oh yeah, but this is my least favorite moment. I never got to this, but I want to say this. That phone call with as far as Jim getting on the phone, and when you notice how the last episode he called him, well not the last episode, but episode 2, he called him Dad. But this episode he called him Jim. So this is like someone truly messing with Jim. And the only reason it's my least favorite moment is because I do not like how he ripped the phone out and had a little temper tantrum again instead of asking the questions he wanted to ask in season 2. He did it again. You thought you was being watched in season 2. You was going through fire exits. You went on a scandal with Randall. That's what I call it. A little scandal with Randall. And got up to the tree.
Alliteration.
All because you thought you were being watched. And here, your fake son is calling you, but you don't ask the questions necessary. You immediately
Missed opportunity.
It's a missed opportunity for you to get the questions or ask the questions that you wanted to ask in season 2. That's the only reason it's my least favorite moment. And he shook the hell out of Ethan right there, boy.
Oh yeah, he did. Let's see. We got Woodrow Nichols says it looks like Victor visited Christopher in the church basement before the massacre. And yes, Victor did go down there. Or at least he was showing a flashback to when he was with the doll, and it did appear to be in a basement. And I wondered if it was the church or some other basement, because we know what trying to remember, did any other house basement that we've seen have stonework? I'm trying to get to that picture because that was a very interesting
I'm not too
scene.
sure. I'm not too sure.
I'm gonna probably pass it. Oh, it was so fast. Oh, I don't want to miss it. But yeah, that was an interesting scene, getting to see the doll Jasper. I'm not happy with the name. Okay, I know they probably couldn't do it, but Slappy is just classic.
Oh well, it freaked my mom out that the doll's name was Jasper, because that's my nephew's name, and she was freaking out when she heard that name. She was like, "Why'd they have to name him Jasper?" Now every time I see my grandson, I'm going to think of that creepy doll. I felt so bad. But speaking of the doll Jasper, do you guys think that Jade will find Jasper and start talking to him like Christopher? What about you, watchers? You think he's going to find that doll?
I do, and I think that the doll is going to start speaking to him because he's seeing the symbols, just like what's his name?
The guy before.
Yeah. Just like he was seeing the symbols, and all of a sudden he just started speaking to the doll. He wasn't as happy anymore. So I think the same thing is going to happen to Jade. I really feel like this town is. Things are being repeated and things are happening in cycles, whether scare tactics are being repeated or cycles are being repeated, characterization of these people are being repeated. I feel like there's like a duplication or just something.
Just reincarnation,
reincarnation. Things are being repeated, and I feel like Jade is falling into that, just like Ethan is falling into the boy in white. I think we'll fall into the boy in white, or how Victor was supposed to turn into the boy in white. I just think these things are going to be repeated.
Yeah, I definitely think he's going to go after the doll, because I guess it gives him an opportunity to do some additional things, go back in the caves, maybe discover some things, because even when they went in those, Jay went in those caves before, and he saw those children laying on those rocks and staring up at the sky. I'm curious for him to go back, or them to go back in there and maybe see what it brings to the table.
I definitely think that these visions that everybody's having are like clues.
Yeah, but the question is clues. Like, one of the things that we sometimes talk, and even people in the comments of just different people's videos that I see, is the show on the borderline of not giving answers. Like, I feel like they're right on that borderline of like, are they giving enough to keep people interested, for the long term, because sometimes I do feel like they introduce things, but they don't cover or address things that were kind of put in place in the past. So I'm curious to see how they're going to kind of bring all these things, together. Like, even when you talk about Boyd getting the worms last year, and he got them from Martin. Who is Martin? Why was Martin down there? Who threw the rope down there to Boyd to get him out? Even though Boyd gave the worms to the monsters, it seems like the monsters are either choosing not to kill Boyd or they can't kill Boyd. And if they can't kill Boyd, why is it? Does he still have those worms, or what is going on? I just feel like
that rope thing just really keeps me up at night. I just like, who, if anything in this show, I want to find out who threw the rope down to Boyd. Don't let that go. Don't let that go by the wayside. If it gets canceled tomorrow, I need to know who threw that rope down there.
Yep, that's a good point, because last week, Spade, who was on the panel with us, brought up that same point. Like, is there too many storylines going on and not enough time to answer them all? We have a lot of characters walking around and doing stuff, and we're not getting as much as we should. So that's a very good point. What about you, Baby Clay? What do you think? You think Jade's going to start talking to that doll, find that doll, and going down the Christopher path?
For sure. Yep. The same way Tabitha is going down the Miranda path, the same way, like, we feel as though this town is like based on like cycle basis, and all it does is repeats itself. And the way Ethan is maybe going the Victor path, I think possibly Jay could get that doll, see that symbol, and he might be in big trouble. I ain't gonna lie. I don't know if he will try to kill someone or someone will try to kill him. You know, based off, because I mean, if you look at this scene, it seemed like Jasper was telling Chris to do something.
Mm-hmm.
He was very argumentative with
Right.
Christopher, and Christopher is just like pointing at him like, nah, I ain't, and his mouth is all moving, and he just looks very disappointed. And I think this is not confirmed, y'all. I have not read anything. This is not confirmed. What I think is what happens here, because remember, Victor says Christopher used to be all about laughs. He used to make people smile all day, but that stopped all of a sudden. I think Jasper was maybe telling Christopher he had to do something to someone, and he wasn't agreeing with it. And then
Like Sarah.
eventually. I'm sorry, what was that?
Like Sarah.
Yeah, like Sarah's been hearing voices on do bad things to people. Exactly. Sarah's been hearing voices about doing bad things to people, down to hearing voices, to her arm getting scratched up. So I mean, it's not hard to believe that a dog named Jasper that talks isn't doing anything bad. And you know what I'm saying? And if he's connected to the symbol, hopefully we get answers soon on how does it connect, like y'all said, like how does the symbol connect to Jade. But I mean, in my honest opinion, I think that this town just needs is in its recycling phase.
Interesting. What about you, Jade? You think Jade's gonna find that doll and start talking to it?
Oh yeah, he's definitely gonna find it. We've already seen shades of it. When it screamed at him and he screamed back. All the same exact thing with Victor's memory or whatnot. So I definitely think it's gonna come back around. So with this doll, I kind of think it like sort of an entity of somewhat, like instead of you controlling the doll is controlling you.
Oh,
so maybe
interesting.
It had control of Christopher, maybe something like that.
So then that leads to this point. You guys think the doll is from that it is something here?
Did he?
I think so.
Did he bring the doll with him? I can't remember.
Did Victor say if he found the doll there, or that's a good question. I don't remember.
That's gonna make a difference whether Christopher came with this doll or if this doll was already something here that is being used. Because I know we've heard points about cursed items being here. Could this doll be one of those cursed items? It's a possibility. What about you, Scarlett? You think Jade's gonna start talking to that doll?
Oh yeah, I mean, I was hoping I was mad he didn't grab it about the caves when he had it, because from what Victor's saying, if he wants to go talk to Jasper, well, Jade had him. Another point is if this doll is moving, then we know that the doll was in one spot in the caves. It is seemingly moved to another spot where Jade found it. So this thing is moving on its own in the caves. Jade had it. He should have took it. That's why he was racking his brain trying to figure out what was they trying to find him. He was supposed to find this doll because he's supposed to get possessed or whatever happened to Christopher. He's going to follow that same truck. So I'm hoping he gets to talk to him. I'm hoping so.
Yeah,
but real quick, we're gonna say some stuff from you guys in the chat, as well as glue guns and roses. There is a link I pinned to the top of the chat. That is the Discord link that has the songs in it. There should be a channel in there, but if we need to, guys, I can also play those in a minute. We'll do just like a quick little listen to them just to kind of get if you guys haven't had a chance to listen to them yet. Again, you guys in the chat made this last Wednesday, and we are going to vote on the best one tonight. But let me get to some of these chats real quick. And let's see.
Yes, does the chat think that Jade's going to start talking to this creepy ass doll?
Well, let's see. I had a few things that they were saying. And I know this is kind of going back even to the phone. But I know Body was saying seems like only certain people can hear the phone ring at certain times. Yes, that was a very interesting thing as well. That it seemed as if Jim was the only one to hear it, but then all of a sudden only Ethan heard it. So yeah, the phone calls are just completely insane. What do they mean? And they're acting a little strange with it. I can't wait to see if that phone rings again now that it's off the hook, so to speak. Let's see. Michael says they spent a lot of time on in the bile bullets to just abandon that. Yes, so a lot of the plot lines that y'all were talking about, the chat was even saying, yeah, there seemed to be just a lot of problems with them having all these storylines, and then almost as if they're not going to be able to finish them and almost abandoning them at times. So we'll see. Maybe the bile will come back. Maybe they do have something in the works. They just got a lot to get to. We'll see. Daryl says there is no borderline. They keep giving us new info. This is a puzzle box show with the mystery being pieces of a puzzle. Anyone who is only watching for answers wouldn't be watching at this point. Yes, and I do love the mystery of it all. And yes, it does have us asking a lot of questions, but isn't that the fun of it? Because then we get all this lovely time in between to go crazy thinking about what could it be.
And it creates this community. You know what I'm saying? It's created a whole community around, the show, people talking about it. And I remember the first season, it was hardly nobody talking about this show. It was probably only like 5 or 6 YouTube channels. And now even some of the largest channels on YouTube, million subscribers, they're all following the show now too. So it's definitely fun to have, stuff to talk about. But I think there is a delicate balance that has to be adhered to, otherwise, it can go down that Lost path. And Lost there's a running joke about Lost for a reason. You know what I'm saying? And but yeah.
Absolutely. Let's see what else we got. I'm sorry, go ahead.
Oh.
I know, right? Shit, burn the monsters. I'm waiting on them to burn the monsters.
Boyd stopped Kenny from doing that. Throwing that Molotov cocktail in that cave.
Lisa says, yes, absolutely. To burn the doll like the music box after we get all the info from it.
Well, okay. All right. Yeah, I agree with getting the info from it. But burning the doll, I think that's going to open up a whole nother can of worms that they ain't ready for.
Look, man, they need to go ahead and grab the salt. They need to get some sage, some white candles, if they got, go ahead and get that pure liquor, go ahead and douse a little flame. So if you do the salt with the liquor just right, then you get a pure flame. It's all gets protection. Get the lavender out.
Over that doorway.
Look, man, you just got to create that protection circle.
Right, out of all the stuff you growing in that greenhouse, nobody's growing no sage.
No sage, no lavender.
Nobody. Come on. I know we need our pot, but like really, nobody's growing no sage with that shit.
We got tarot cards, but we ain't got no sage.
I swear.
MJ Jones says, and the dark entity is being used. Ooh, okay. Glue Guns and Roses says, I think the entity takes over different mediums. And yes, it could possibly. I mean, who knows what all these different voices, we know Sarah's heard voices that told her about things. Now, Ethan and Jim are seemingly hearing voices off a telephone that are giving them weird warnings and letting them know of future events. We got the doll, we got the kids, we got the boy in white, we got cicadas. We got the weird Elgin chick, Dream Lady. I mean, we got so many different creeps and crawlies and things running about in this place. I don't know where any of this is going to end up. It's good.
I know. Well, speaking of the phone and the calls that Jim has been getting, what are your theories on who might be on the other end of that phone call? We know it's not his son. So do you think it could be one of the sides, the dark or the light that we think might be at play here? JH, have any thoughts on who might be on the other side of that phone call?
I think it's the same person that was on the radio.
Oh yeah.
Do you? Interesting. So you think it's the
He
same
is trolling
being?
the shit out of Jim, and I love it.
I swear to God, you're digging your own hole, Jim. Tell your wife to stop digging that hole, Jim. Huh?
Wait a minute, you sound like him.
It
was you. It was you, baby. Like, stop it. Stop. That's it. Mystery solved.
I promise you, I'm not
solved.
that man. That's funny. But yeah, I agree. I agree with you. They fucking with Jim. They fucking with Jim heavy. They had.
So do you think that phone's gonna ring again now that he ripped it off the wall?
Yep. Yep.
Yep.
Yeah,
it's gonna be a cordless phone now.
Too bad he couldn't star 69 and just figure out who's on the other end. But what about you watchers? You have any theories of who's on the other end of that call?
I was kind of going with what the brother said. Like it could be the same person that was on that phone, but once again, it probably would depend on like your perspective of what you think is going on here. And I keep bouncing back and forth between like my top 3 theories of like what the heck is going on, because it seems like every episode or two something else happens where you're kind of like, I don't know what this could be. Is it simulations? Is it some witchcraft type situation where it's a demonic entity that's trapped there? And it can go between a lot of different things, man, because a lot of things are happening and they just don't make sense. The phones ringing don't make sense. They got electricity. Why do you have electricity? There's no wires running or anything like that. Just a lot of interesting things just happen. And it's not rational. It doesn't make sense when you think about it from the real world. So I don't know who it is. Maybe it is that guy that called Jim on the radio, but I have no idea.
I'm with you. At this point, my only theory is that there is a mole in the town, and it's the mole doing it.
Or part of the system.
Right. Or is it Donna with the voice, that scary movie voice changer thing?
She said Donna.
Do you like scary movies?
Yeah. Maybe.
Yeah. Because we always, from day one, we always felt like there was a mole here. And earlier on, even in season 1, we didn't like Donna.
It was the bartender.
We thought it was the bartender. Then he got killed because everybody and mama gets drunk and runs their business to the bartender. But then we always felt it was Donna. And then even Fatima earlier on, she was not interested at all in leaving the town. It wasn't until she got pregnant. And so I do feel that if this is, I do think that there are people there that are maybe relaying information, because things just happen. When Boyd yells out, "You can't break me," who heard him to repeat that to him? When Tabitha was digging a hole, who knew she was digging a hole? Just a lot of different things happen that, bits of information that people just should not have access to, but they seem to have access to it, which is pretty crazy.
That is. What about you, Scarlett? Who you think is on the other end of that phone call?
Well, I think it's either going to be the boy in white or them crazy voices Sarah's been hearing. At first, I'm assuming boy in white because we don't know what he really is. And even Sarah says something like he's not really a boy. And he just kind of popping up in people's dreams and all over the place. Like, he just seemed like he's trying to get people to do stuff. He's always kind of like and I know people in the chat even coined the term, like he's like the shepherd leading the flock. So he's always sort of leading people to where they need to be or where he wants them to be. Even Tabitha, right? He kind of changed his voice to make it kind of act like the Ankui kids a little bit. So then it could be the voices that Sarah hears, because Sarah said they were different from the boy in white, and she heard them kind of telling her about the Matthews coming into town, if they had this sort of information on hand beforehand. Now, what those voices are, I have no idea. There's a lot of spirits kind of roaming around, and I don't know if it's the entity is actually just controlling all this, or if these are separate spirits that are talking. I still don't know, but I'm hoping that phone rings again just for creep factor. Because it's like it's on the table, and that thing is just like haunting the house, ringing no matter what they do.
Hey, do y'all see that comment about somebody who bought a house and somebody left a ventriloquist doll in the closet?
Mm-hmm. I actually
What?
have that one starred. I was gonna get to that in just a second.
Oh,
yeah,
hell
it's
no.
starred.
I would've
I
sold
starred
that
it.
house.
Look, I got this. I got this. Look, I got it. It's starred in my starred comments.
Oh my God.
Oh
that
my
house got to go.
Oh no.
Right
I
here.
would oh no.
Mr. Moon Knight says, when I bought my house, a ventriloquist doll was left in a closet. The only way to get rid of it is to transfer ownership. So he sold it on eBay. There you go. Problem solved. So if you bought a ventriloquist doll out there on eBay,
Throw the whole house away.
Oh my God,
Hurt
Annabelle!
somebody
I
else.
no fucking way. No fucking way. Nope. Nope.
You pull
the
the
Golden
board,
Child
Mr.
says
Knight.
it's right.
Oh my God, that is horrifying. Are you still in that house?
You might want to check around. Grab the sage. I'm telling you.
Oh, you just gave me goosebumpies. No way.
Go to the local church, perhaps. Find some holy water. Just to be safe. You know, it doesn't hurt when you got some creepy dolls running around your house. Was it running around the house? Actually, did
Shut
you see
up,
it
Scarlett.
like move?
Shut up.
Like, was it in one spot one day and you came back and it was in another?
Little footsteps.
Yeah.
Oh my God.
Like at night, you just hear it. Just,
oh my God.
Hell no.
No, you people are not. No. That's horrifying.
Golden Child says it's the entity that's controlling the dummy. He told Christopher and Sarah to kill the boy in white. Yes, he did. Let's see what else you guys are saying about the phone, though. Let me get to some of that because I think they are just now starting to chat in a little bit about that. Oh, I mean, they're definitely saying that Donna's super sus, and then Vic is like, I know
Poor
she's
Donna.
She's gonna go after
girl.
people who she's all about the Donna fan club. So
lie.
we definitely got some divide in the chat on Donna.
Oh, my poor girl.
Hey, Vic, we got your back. She said, I get attacked. We did a video, top 5 people we don't trust, and Donna on the list. We got your back, Vic. We got your back, Vic.
Oh, you guys are breaking my heart.
I'm gonna tell you, because Donna was the only one touching that radio besides Jim when he heard that voice.
Exactly.
Ooh, and this is a good one. We got Lisa saying, I'm starting to think this show is a mashup of Twilight Zone episodes. And yes, I believe even BK might even know the episode, and Bitey may also know that. It's sort of, there's a Twilight episode that they have the phone and the phone's like not hooked up or something like that, but it's ringing. Guys in the chat, let us know, because I believe they were talking about that in Jeremy's Discord. I'm like, a lot of Twilight Zone stuff going on here. Well, they pull from a lot of good horror, right? Because even the cans and the monsters. Already, so the cans on Colony House for the monsters is very much so reminds me of It Follows. Dude, like, look, the monsters were coming after him, and they put the cans on the wall so that way if something tried to come in, he would know that something was in the house. So they do a lot of little things like that, a lot of references to some of the good horror that we all know and love. I know, like, even just newer stuff like the Slender Man, a lot of that stuff can be referenced in there. And then, of course, the Wendigos and all the other sort of ghosts and demons and stuff that are sort of shown in this show. So it is fun to kind of go down those rabbit holes. Let's see. The Motivational Misfit says Jasper uses the crows as surveillance during the day. Jasper also DJs on the radio. Ooh. I like it.
That's not far-fetched. That's not far-fetched. Because if this dog has any type of personality, he would be the one to play good times after they kill Tension. So I mean,
right?
Yeah.
Right? That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah.
That's pretty fucked up.
Oh,
he
yeah.
said, DJ, kick that shit.
Absolutely.
Spin that record. Spin that record.
Dude, he's so, I love it. He is just the quintessential Goosebumps ventriloquist doll. I mean, so classic. That's why I call him Slappy, because he is indeed Slappy.
I'm not sure if y'all seen the movie Dead Silence. Have y'all seen the movie Dead Silence?
No.
Yes,
I don't think I've seen that one.
He looks just like the dog from Dead Silence, too.
He sure does.
Does he? Oh, I'm going to check that out then.
Yeah, it's actually a really good movie. It came out like in 2008. It's actually really good. But he looks
See,
just
right? Like,
dog.
this show hits you in nostalgia, right? So much about this show is nostalgic. I'm telling you. What about that is the key, though? I'm telling you, it's a puzzle piece. I don't know where it fits in, but that sort of nostalgic vibe, twisted nostalgic vibe they got going on in here, something to it. I haven't quite put my finger on it yet. see.
Yes, and I know,
and
and
guys,
that's-
in the chat, before we get too late tonight, let me know if y'all do want to listen to the songs. I can pull them up real quick so we can listen to them. If you want to listen, guys, if we get like a good majority of you guys want to check them out, we will play them. Put a 1 in the chat if you guys want to check out the Fromville songs before we get too much deeper into the stream.
Sure. So while they're doing that, I'll ask one more question. So now we have seen a lot from the monsters. We have seen that they have kind of been evolving over time. From when Boyd pulled up and met Father Kotri for the first time, he said they would scream. Once they got into the house and the talismans, that they then started to whisper. Now we see them laying traps. Do you guys think that the monsters kind of evolve to get to the people? Since we've seen this sort of evolution of the monsters, JH, do you think the monsters are evolving?
I thought they were always like this, to be honest. I think they're just showing more of it, because we got the scene with Kelly with the rebar in her head. So they definitely been proven to be psychological even before this. So I just think we're seeing more of it.
Interesting. What about you, Baby
I
Clay?
guess you could say yeah.
Yeah, you could say yes. What about you, Baby Clay? You think the monsters are evolving, changing their tactics now that they have to do a little more to get to the people?
I'm gonna be honest. I'm gonna have to disagree. I think the monster's been like this. We seen it with Kelly. We seen it with Kelly when they, got her to the tree because she said they tortured her boyfriend right in front of her. We just didn't see it. We just didn't actually see that happen. But she told us, "Hey, they tortured my boy. They tortured my boyfriend right in front of me." I mean, I think they're doing new tactics to break Boyd, but I think what they've been doing, like as far as torturing people in front of people, I think that's something that they have been doing for a long time.
I think it has something to do with the resilience of the town. When Victor was there as a child, I didn't think that they needed much to scare these people and kill these people and trap them and to do all this stuff. All they had to do was start screaming and hollering. And as the time has gone by, people have discovered talismans and they become resourceful. They become comfortable living this way. I think that monsters have become more what's the word? Adept at how they are going to frighten these people and scare them and get reactions from them, be able to trap them. So that's what I think.
Yeah, and like I said, it goes to what everybody's saying here, because early on in season 1, Donna used to tell the stories how they would just hide every night and they had to be quiet, and the monsters would just shriek and scream. And then they eventually started to show different types of behaviors. But of course, Boyd found the talisman, and then even in season 1, right, like it got to the point with the talisman that the monsters weren't scary anymore. Because if you had and we saw that in Colony House, those jokers was partying. They was living their best life in there. They cracked the jokes when Fatima was growing the marijuana and stuff. So they were living their best life. And it wasn't until the end of season 1, the last episode, and then season 2, when things started to change, where it took away the people's comfort level there. And then, made them more exposed to the monsters, because now their food is shrinking and stuff like that. It's either the monsters are evolving, or if this is some type of simulation, the computer system is just up in the ante. It's just like a video game. Like if you get to the next level, the bigger boss, you got to fight the bigger boss, if that is the line that is going down. So, like I said, we don't know.
Guys, I've had a great time. I got to deuce out. I have to get ready for work in the morning. It was really fun hanging and talking to you guys. I got to get out of here.
I'm going to hang around a little bit more.
Awesome.
Thank you.
It was
so
very
much
nice
for
having
joining
you.
us.
Good night. Nice
Yes,
meeting you.
awesome conversation, and would love to have you come back with us.
Thank you.
At least she's being responsible. She's being responsible. We can't knock her for that.
That's right.
Yes. But thank you so much for hanging with us.
Yes, indeed. It has been a pleasure.
I'm
Here you go, ladies and gentlemen.
To the middle. Well, no, that ain't gonna work. I'll just stay here.
But yeah, no, that's interesting because I'm like, it seems like they've almost upped their game in a sense, like setting traps now. With the chick like laying in the middle of the road, knowing the ambulance is gonna come. You know the EMTs are gonna get out of the ambulance and check the body. That's their job. Right. So I just always thought, like, are these monsters kind of up in their game to get to these people in a sense? So that was always just my take.
Software update, no.
reboot.
Yeah. But y'all notice how as soon as Kelly started talking about everything she witnessed the night before, she started screaming. That was somebody saying, "Okay, now this motherfucker talk too much. Delete." And then she started screaming and died. Mm-hmm. She was about to get into it about what happened the night before.
Who was? Say that again.
Kelly, season 2. She arrived on the new bus.
Yeah.
She had what was it? An arrow stuck in her head to the tree? Was it an arrow?
Yeah. Yeah, the rebar, the piece of rebar.
Yeah, oh yeah, the rebar. Yep, exactly. So, I mean,
and boy pulled it out.
And boy, yeah,
yank that shit. Yanked it.
Yeah, but then she screamed at one point. Then she screamed at one point like she like a cicada scream or something like that.
Yeah, like she saw something almost. Yep.
But like she was about to get into it. She was about to get to death into it, and then the next thing you know, boy pulls the rebar out, and
so now that leads into my next question.
Well, hang on, we want to get to the chat first.
Yeah, go ahead.
Or are we doing a follow-up question?
No, it was a follow-up question, but go ahead.
Oh, okay. I was just making sure we weren't leading into the next one. I didn't want to forget.
Nope.
Actually, go ahead with the follow-up because then I can get them all at once. My bad.
I was just going to say, since the monsters are kind of like changing their tactics up in their game, why do you think they left Randall alive on that ambulance? Do you think that was a way to try to lure people outside in a sense?
Well, can I say something to that? Maybe that was it. They was trying to lure people out the house. But I think this was another way of trying to break Boyd. Because I'm telling you, when these folks find out they let him live twice and handed him the keys to get away, and he had, like J.A. said, he had the option to run, or like the Watcher said, he could have ran him over. But he decided to leave Randall, and we all know how Boyd we all go get out of here. We got faith, we gotta have hope. But he straight up took the keys and left Randall, which I'm not sure. I'm not saying he's wrong for doing that, but it just seems as though, that part really tripped me out. How he just took the keys and left. I'm sitting here looking at this picture Scarlett has up, and it's just cracking me up how she just gave him the keys and told him to get away. So I think this is another way to break Boyd. And because now he's going to have to hold. Some people will be against Boyd after this. Not saying all people, but some people are going to look at Boyd differently after this.
What about you, JH? Why do you think they left Randall alive?
Twofold. Of course, to break Boyd and cause dissension. That's happening. And I think your boy's a sleeper agent, man.
Who?
Randall.
Randall? Yeah.
Randall, Julie, and Marielle.
Yes, I'm kind of down with that because now that they've had the cicadas in their brains, are they kind of linked into this like hive mind now? Like, can a switch just be flipped and they kind of do, and you know what I mean? Like, are they now somewhat monsters themselves?
I believe so.
I don't think they're monsters, but I definitely think they are in great contact with the entity that was controlling the dungeon, or where they was chained up at. My boy was destroyed the music box. I think they have some type of connection with the entity, but I'm not. I'm not so.
It's going to be an internal struggle. Let me put it like that.
Yeah, for sure.
Yeah,
definitely.
I'm curious to know why they chose the people that they did choose to do that to. Like from Randall to Julie. Who was the third person?
Mari.
Marielle, yeah.
yeah, like why were they the ones that were chosen? You know that would happen to them, and I'm like with the other brother. I think that Randall being freed is to cause dissension among the people, because now with him being freed, he's able to tell his story and say, boy left my ass. Versus if he was dead, boy could just say, you know, oh man, he got killed. Now Randall can say, look, I did all this, went to the bus, got their tools, tried to help out, get, you know, tossed in the bag, and this joker left me out there to hang, you know, going back and forth with all that other stuff. And it's going to cause some dissension. I wouldn't be surprised if we start to see it go back, because, you know, when they first started the show, you have the town and you have the colony house. And it was like you have to choose, you know. But all of this crazy stuff started happening, and now everybody kind of came together. Like people could just kind of run around and they just looking out. I wouldn't be surprised if it went back to some type of thing where you have this group of people that they feel that we should do this, and another group that feels like we should do this to survive.
Oh, I agree. I definitely agree with that too. And the cicada sleep. I want to just add to this right quick before Scarlett gets to the chat. The Marielle, Julie, and Randall, those three were chosen obviously for a reason, but I think Marielle's reason was to take care of Fatima. She wasn't just brought there because she knew Christy. I'm telling you, she wasn't just brought there because she knew Christy. She was brought there to make sure Fatima is getting the nutrients that she needs. You know,
I 100% agree with you.
Do you trust her?
So agree with that.
Do y'all trust her?
No.
Mari? No.
Yeah, because
I thought what she said at the beginning of the episode was a subliminal.
What she said?
She was talking about I always take care of my clients or something like that.
Well, think about it. This is what me and Scarlett were talking about this the other day. She is a pediatric nurse. We have Fatima, who is pregnant. Do you really think it's a coincidence that she was just brought here for Christy? I think Christy was brought here to bring Mari out. That's what I think. Because now you have this baby who is so important enough to kill the crops, to make it winter, almost like like Scarlett says, the baby needs it to be winter in a sense, because winter kind of is associated with death. And I loved Scarlett's point on that winter is just another thing the baby might need to be born in a sense. She was taken over by the cicadas. So if she is now locked into this hive mind, what if when the baby's born, like I said, a switch gets flipped and she takes the baby? Because that's what she was meant to do. Deliver this baby and take it to wherever or whoever wants the baby. I'm not too sure about Randall and Juliet. I haven't fit them into why they were chosen, but it's very odd that Mari is in there.
But
when she has such a connection to Fatima.
And then the thing that tripped me out when she was caring for Fatima and Ellis was super hesitant. He's like, maybe we should wait on Chrissy. Maybe we should wait. And she gave her some medicine, but they only showed it to us for like a hot second. And when she did that, something about how she gave her that medicine and stuff, she keeps checking in on her. I almost feel like she knows something is wrong.
Yeah, she knows what she's supposed to do. She's too comfortable coming out of this cicada sleep. Like, I'm telling y'all, I can't stress that. She's too comfortable.
Yeah.
Julie's responding. Randall's responding. She's the only one making slight jokes about what she's been through.
And living her best life.
You know, hey, you talking about before this place mind fucked me? Yeah, I mean, okay, but how you responding to it? I don't blame Ellis for asking her if she's okay to actually do that, Sam.
Yeah.
But she's just too comfortable on waking up from a strange deep sleep and the experience that she went through. She's too comfortable.
Exactly.
Yeah, I definitely don't trust Mari. What about you, Scarlett? She can't be trusted, right?
Well, I mean, I don't know if she can be just as trusted as the other three that were taken. I would put her on the same level as them with trust. If I couldn't trust her, I wouldn't be able to trust Randall or Julie as well. Oh, I mean, do I trust anybody right now? Do I trust Jade? Then at that point,
anybody?
Do I trust? I mean, who's really not being fucked with here to trust? I don't really trust Boyd
True.
either because he's obviously going to have to make a choice every time. I don't want to be nowhere near Boyd right now because I might not be the one he chooses.
He got that bad juju right now.
I mean, you know, Baka got it right. She's like, look, I ain't touching nothing. You guys is on your own. I'm out. I'm out.
But you
No
mean pick
more.
up
I'm
that
about to
crow?
cabin by
Wait,
myself.
what you talking about? Hell no. She was
I'm
like, I ain't touching that dead bird. You out your mind. You guys are crazy.
I don't trust Victor or Henry.
Mm-mm.
Both of them. Something ain't right. Because Victor, boy, I look at Victor differently now ever since this season started. It's like, bro, when did you go start telling folks what you know? How many do you got? Does something bad got to happen for you to start remembering the things that we need to know? Does someone have to be a sacrifice for that? Like, I mean, brother.
What about our chat? What's the chat saying, Scarlett?
Oh my gosh, she's saying a lot of stuff, and I like this one that Bai says. Could the blood still on the milkman mean the monsters are losing power like the town? And yes, the milkman still has his nice little handprint of blood from episode 1?
I think that's from when he killed that cow.
Yep. That's what I'm saying. So he's still got his little blood stain, which they usually seem to stay pretty neat and tidy, at least for the most part, from their blood. But he's still ripping that. Got it right there. That was his like handprint. He just right across there. So I don't know what that means. It was very interesting though. I noticed that as well. Like, why is that still there? I mean, it's not like inherently bothersome. Just I thought they like to stay nice and tidy.
Mm-hmm.
Let's see what else we got. Don't even worry about it. Says, I was wanting to know the initial first attack in Victor's point of view, how the town got caught slipping. And yes, in Victor's only case, he is trying to remember as everything in the town is changing. He needs to know what happened during the massacre in order to hopefully stop the events from repeating. Dante says, the way she said it doesn't work that way led me to believe they're being held back and can occupy or apply pressure if needed. Mm-hmm. Sorry. So yes, they can definitely. She was telling him, but yeah, he was like, "Stand back! I have the talisman." No, sweetie, not quite how it works.
They was like, "Oh, Randall, oh, sweetheart, no, that's not how it works. Sorry."
That was one of my favorite bars. I ain't gonna lie. It was one of my favorite bars.
Like, could be gone, demon. Yeah, no.
The motivational misfit says, I think Jasper is the necromancer for the mother tree. The faraway trees allow the slow monsters to move quickly through the town. Photosynthesis from the sun allows them to charge up during the day. Ooh, wow. I like it. That is interesting. Ooh, I like it. It definitely, we got the tree vibes going on. What is the deal with the trees? Got the veins going down. I always thought the monster's veins were similar to the roots that Jade sees in the caves when he looks up and he sees that symbol with the roots. They kind of, I don't know, something about that just seems similar. Let's see what else we got. Dre Zeppi, the animals and ambulance were both ploys to get people to panic and leave the safety of the talisman. Yes, they're definitely putting some traps out there for these people to get caught up in, get them off their game.
You see what somebody said about Victor? Dre Azart, he said, is it possible that Victor had a part in the town massacre but doesn't remember due to the manipulation?
I probably just, I don't know if I haven't gotten to it yet.
Yeah, probably.
I'll have to go back.
No, I just thought I was just pointing it out. Thought it was crazy.
Let's see. I don't know if I missed it, but yeah, that is actually a very good point. What else we got? I've had a few more you guys starred. Glue Gun the Rose says they've always had a strong physical game. Now the monsters are upping their mental game. It's definitely playing some games with the townsfolk. Let's see what else we got. Will Smalls says the monsters are seeming to evolve after Smiley died. They are targeting individuals too. So Julie, Mari, and Randall are followed. Elgin, though. Okay, so they're kind of going after all these people. Yeah, they're kind of doing some weird games and who they're targeting. Why are they targeting certain individuals? Let's see what else we got. I think that was all the ones I got starred, but let's see if we got anything else in here. Vic says, I am the president of the I Can't Stand Jim fan club. Yes, there is a.
I'll be the VP. I will be the VP. I'm down with you, Vic.
Let me be the manager. I just want to be the manager.
Vanessa Wicked says, OMG, the monsters are so damn cute. I mean, they actually, when they're like this, they're not too bad. I mean, when they shift, you know, it's a little bit different. You know, it's one of them. What is it? Only a face, you know, a mother could love.
A mother could love, yeah.
Yeah, there she is. I mean, you know,
good.
She got a face for radio.
There you go.
But yes, guys, do you want to go ahead and play the songs real quick? Or if you guys, I know if you guys did want to hear that in the chat, and I can do that very quickly. We can just do at least a little bit of the song to give you guys an idea of the vibe.
Sure.
We'll do that. And again, guys, we are voting on the song. There is a poll in the chat for you guys to vote on with it. So we're going to do this just real quick, take a little break. And this is the first one. This is the male singer. Wait, is it Sharon? I want to make sure I'm sharing too. I share. Okay, yep. All right, we're good. Sorry. All right, I'm not gonna play the whole thing because this one is actually probably the longer one. But I'm gonna play at least a good 30 seconds or so. That was not the right one. Let me scroll back down. Sorry.
Yeah, so we did a stream about, I think it was last week, where the chat got to make lyrics, we got to pick beats, and we put together this song, that one, which is The Boyd is Back in Town. And then on Wednesday night, Scarlett is going to start to put clips and stills, and we're going to make a full video, and it's going to be available for anybody in the Fromville to download, to use, to have. So it was a lot of fun.
All right, I got the right one. I'm sorry. So on the wrong side of the list, we had quite a few in here that we made that night.
When Boyd is in town, there ain't no fooling around. Only rule is maybe don't die tonight. Jasper just got back to town. Since he'd been back, food been rotting in the ground. Where the heck Boyd gone to? You'll know when he get back, or something else will end up bad too. The Boyd is back in town. Come out and play, don't get led astray. I'd happily walk into the night to find my ghost wife and wife. The Boyd is back again. The Boyd is back again. A pool with no motel is like a boat without a sail. You can't break me. 3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. Monsters knocking on my door every night. When the bell starts ringing, be ready for the pain he's bringing. He wants to get home in his boat. If you get in his way, he'll cut your throat. Come out and play, don't get led astray. I'd happily walk into the night to find my ghost wife and wife. The Boyd is back again.
All right. So that is the first one. And I just want to make sure I am playing the right one for the female singer. And I believe it is this one. All right, here we go. This should be female singer 1.
This is my favorite. This is my vote.
When Boyd is in town, there ain't no fooling around. Only rule is maybe don't die tonight. Guess Boyd just got back to town. Since he'd been back, food been rotting in the ground. Where the heck Boyd gone to? You know, when he get back, 'cause something else will end up bad too. The Boyd is back in town. Come out and play, don't get led astray. I happily walk into the night to find my ghost wife in a white. The Boyd is back again. A pool in a motel is like a boat without a sail. You can't break me. 3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. Monsters knocking on my door every night. When the bell starts ringing, be ready for the pain he's bringing. He wants to get home in his boat. If you get in his way, he'll cut your throat. Come out and play, don't get led astray. I happily walk into the night to find my ghost within white. The boy is back again. The pool with no motel is like a boat without a sail. You can't break me. 3:30 in the morning, not a soul.
All right. Sorry, I meant to stop
That shit fire. That's the one.
The last version that you guys get to choose from, and then we'll get back into the conversation. It's the last one we got.
When boys in town, no fooling around. Only rule is maybe don't die tonight. Guess boy just got back to town since he been back. Food been rotting in the ground. Where the heck boy gone to? You'll know when he get back, 'cause something else will end up bad too. The boy is back in town. Come out and play, don't get led astray. I'd happily walk into the night to find my ghost wife in white. The boy is back again. A pool with no motel is like a boat without a sail. You can't break me. 3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. Monsters knocking on my door every night. When the bell starts ringing, be ready for the pain he's bringing. He wants to get home in his boat. If you get in his way, he'll cut your throat. Come out and play, don't get led astray. I'd happily walk into the night to find my ghost wife in white. The boy is back again. A pool with no motel is like a boat without a sail. You can't break me. 3:30 in the morning, not a soul in sight. Monsters knocking on my door every night. When the bell starts ringing, be ready for the pain he's bringing. He wants to get home in his boat. If you get in his way, he'll cut your throat. Come out and play, don't get led astray. I'd happily walk into the night to find my ghost wife in white. The boy is back again. This place can't break me, even if they take me. Web skunk demons come. Worms got into me, worms I go to set them free. Worms don't ride a pony on the sea. Take these worms from me, Smiley.
All right, guys. So there they are. Poll is in the chat. Let your voice be heard. Vote now.
What about you guys, panel? Which one did you guys like? JH, which one did you like? Two, right?
Yep.
Yep. I think we know how Baby Clay feels. He feels number 2, right?
That's the one.
What about you, Watcher? Which one did you like?
I enjoyed them all, to be honest about it. They just have different vibes. It probably depends on what you're feeling at the moment. But they were all pretty good.
Absolutely. And again, all this goes out to you guys in the chat. They voted on the name title. They came up with the lyrics. Literally, we put it together on a stream. And that is what we have, guys. Again, I'm so proud of you guys. This has turned out to be awesome fun. And we're going to do another one like this. So again, the poll is up. Go ahead and vote. And by the end of the stream, we will close the poll out and we will complete this hopefully Wednesday night.
Yep.
Back to you, Dana.
So now, this is one question, since we've been talking a lot about what Victor knew and the massacre. He took all those items, right? The boy in white told him to take the items. Where did the bodies go? What did they do with the bodies? What happened to them? If Victor didn't move those bodies, what happened to the bodies? What do you think, Baby Clay? What happened to those bodies?
That's a good ass question. I think maybe they, over time just deteriorated, and then when they, came bones, maybe he just picked the bones. I mean, it's so many things you could say about what happened to the dead bodies. Father Cotry might have found the bodies. Dale might have found the bodies. Like, depending on how long it took people to actually get into Fromland, it ain't no telling what happened to them bodies. It ain't no telling who buried them. If they came back and just ate the leftovers. I don't know. That's a good question. I wasn't prepared to ask. I wasn't, prepared to answer. I'm sorry.
What about you, JH? What you think happened in bodies?
It would have had to be whenever the next crop of people came, and somebody had to get rid of it.
You can't even
What about you,
if you
Watch?
was to drive.
It
I'm
magically
sorry.
disappeared.
If you can't even drive down the road at one point. You know what I'm saying? Like, unless you're running over dead bodies.
What about you, Watcher? What you think happened in bodies?
I just think that it's another thing that they're not going to answer and tell us. The only logical thing would be that maybe some other new people came into the town, and they slid the bodies to the side. But just like they were saying, these bodies are strung all over the place. That if you drove into town, you couldn't even get into the doggone town. But I just think it's one of those things that sometimes the show just puts stuff out there, and they don't necessarily answer it, and they just kind of leave it up to us to assume maybe what happened. But I have no idea.
Well, I mean, if the town can crash a house, in a split second, they could do something with them bodies.
There you go.
So I wouldn't, think that is not possible for the bodies just to disappear, being that how fast they crashed down that house. So I mean, anything could have happened to them bodies.
So you guys think it's just going to be another rope question? Who threw the rope? What did the bile really do? You think it might be just another one of those things we're just not going to get an answer for?
Exactly.
Go ahead and put it in that folder.
I don't think we're going to get any answers for that bile.
No.
That ain't do shit.
And you want to know the thing about the bile that I like?
Nothing burger. It may come back, but nothing.
Look, let me tell you about this. Like when that whole situation was going down, and I was like, just from like a scientific perspective, the amount of friction and heat that occurs when you fire a firearm, there's no way that whatever liquid you put on that bullet would have survived. To me, the only thing that would have worked would have been like an arrow, because people all the time put poison on spear tips of arrows, and it like, to me, if that was really going to be their strategy, to me, they should have maybe put that poison bile on like a spear tip or something, because that is the only thing that had a chance to see if it really worked. And that's, like I said, that's another thing. I'm like, bro, that made no. They took us through that 2 episodes that I'm getting that bile for it to just be nothing.
I was thinking that myself, like arrows or like dipping a blade in it or something.
That would have been
something that's going to get directly into them somehow.
Or dipping a knife, you know what I'm saying? But a knife got to get too close. An arrow would have been, to me, at that time, would have been the smartest option if you was really trying to see if that arrow, if that bile was going to be effective in hurting the monster.
That's a good point. I was thinking that myself, like, really, and the way he was just kind of like dumping it on the bullets, I was like, it's not even staying. I was like, what like it? I don't understand. I don't understand.
It just the law of physics, it just didn't make sense. It just, you know what I'm saying, as a person that has firearms, like that just it just doesn't make sense. Like if you fire a gun and see like what the byproduct of it and stuff, like that liquid had no chance of staying on that bullet and doing anything.
Very, very true.
1 second, real quick. Guys, let me know if you cannot see the poll in the chat. I know Dell City had mentioned that a second ago. I went on YouTube. It's still up for me, so let me know. You might have to go out and come back in to just double check. It should be it should pop up at the top. But just so you guys know, let me know in the chat if it's not working. Continue forth. I'm sorry.
Nope, that's okay. I have one more question. What do you think the townspeople are going to do now that Tabitha is back? What do you think everybody's reaction is going to be? What about you, Watcher? Now that Tabitha's back, do you think people have some questions?
Yeah, I think they're definitely going to have questions. I think what the people do depends on how much she's going to talk. And we can't assume that she's going to tell everything, because these people don't talk in this damn show.
No, they don't.
But if she does tell these folks, look, I went to a lighthouse and I was temporarily out, either that's going to cause people to say, hey, we all need to be marching through this damn forest and trying to get to that lighthouse, or that's going to stop and make people say, what could this place be that you fall out of a lighthouse and you end up in the real world? it may make people question where they actually are. You know, is this and Jim was talking about it, not Jim, Jim in season 1. He was in was it Jim and Jade or where they were talking about, is this a simulation? Is this like an experiment to see how far people can be pushed? In some ways, I don't know if you guys seen that movie Shutter Island. You guys ever seen that movie?
Yep.
And there's some small parts of it that kind of like when you think about what happened in Shutter Island, how like that dude, he thought he was an FBI agent and he was on that island, but in fact, what it was that he was in a mental health institution and they were doing a very strenuous process to try to break him and help him understand that no, that story that you create in your mind is not true. And so it kind of makes me just once again wonder what exactly are we dealing with, because the clues that we've been given, I don't think anybody can. It's probably 3 things that it could be, and I don't think we'll know what it is until the end of the show, and hopefully we do get an end of the show.
What about you, JH? How do you think these people are going to respond to Tabitha being back?
Well, I've seen the trailer already, so they do know about the tree.
Okay.
Uh-oh. Are they gonna talk?
They're gonna talk.
Oh, thank God! We gonna get a meeting.
Yeah, this is gonna be a town meeting.
Oh, thank you, Jesus! I'm
Shut
sorry.
your face!
Lord have mercy! I've been
Finally.
waiting for these people.
What you want to bet on that?
Not seen the trailer yet.
How much she told, I don't know. I know Dale said something about the tree. So
okay, so the trailer is out. I forget when did they release that? What, the next day or so?
It comes on
it just
after
depends
the
on
MGM.
the internet. I caught it in the Facebook group. So
where are they posting the trailer for each episode? Because some people have it, some people don't. Where the hell is this trailer?
I know Jeremy Ice and Fire has it up on his channel, so you can go to his channel and see the full trailer.
But who's giving it to him? Is MGM giving it?
It's not. No, he's not getting it. I believe somebody is recording it for him, and he records it himself after the episode airs. I'm not sure, but I know they release it after the MGM live episode on Sunday nights, and then they release it to app subscribers the Wednesday.
I got the app, and I've never seen it. I got the app.
Well, on their socials, now I know on Instagram they'll release it like right before the episode is about to air, like Friday or Saturday. You get that clean version. The version I'm talking about is somebody's recording like a TV, who's ever watching, I guess, the showing at 8 p.m.
Okay.
Because it doesn't show on the app, so.
Because I know they were eventually released
so
it on
somebody is saying
Twitter.
it's after the 8 p.m. because I always watch it earlier than that 8 or 9 o'clock time frame. I always watch it earlier.
Yeah, we watch it at midnight when it first drops, and we don't get a trailer. But I know.
But yeah, I did a breakdown on that last night, so.
Nice, guys. So yeah, definitely go check out that video. I'm not gonna lie, I'm trying to stay away from you guys' videos because it's so hard to not be
BK, if you're still listening, can you put up a link to Jeremy's video for the next episode's trailer? Because I know he puts it out.
I kind of don't be liking to see it, to be honest about it. I like to kind of just see the me. I'm just talking it, me personally. Like I like to just kind of, see what it is, because I even saw there was a couple of people that had images for this upcoming episode. For the last episode we just watched, they had images and everything, and then even images to pertain to the upcoming episode. So I kind of have an idea of some of the things that are going to happen, but don't want to ruin it. And then sometimes I just like to see it from like how things, even though you have early access to it, I like to see how it plays out cinematically versus just the images that we see.
Yeah, I'm kind of 50-50. Like, I like to give it
show
time.
Randall, so I don't know what's going on with him.
Okay, because it doesn't? Okay.
It doesn't.
All right, because I was curious. Some people are saying that there's stuff out there about him, and I'm curious to where that information was coming from, because I haven't seen even the trailer. I haven't seen yet, so I'm gonna probably check that out soon. I really wanted to dive in through this episode before I got my brain onto the next one. So I do like to see the trailers, but I like to really digest before I get into the next one. because there was honestly they were giving us, to in my opinion, a lot in each episode. It seems like some things are filler, but to me I think there's a lot of stuff that's going to be more meaningful than we think as the show progresses. And I could be wrong about that. They could just totally be, I'm just hoping for the best kind of thing here, but I'm hoping a lot of these little things are going to add up. But for me, I really want to formulate a little bit of theories and kind of make sure my thoughts are really not on point, but just to where I need them to be before I'm kind of getting that new information in. So usually somewhere after midway into the week, I will start to watch the trailers just so that way I'm like, okay, so this is what we're getting ready. Just as if you were to watch an episode on TV and they kind of give you a little sneak peek thing. They used to do that all the time too. So I have no problem with those. There's just so much stuff out there that I'm so scared to go on Twitter most of the time now because people are posting stuff. I'm like, no, don't. It's too early. It's too early. But let's see what you guys in the chat have been saying. I know I had a few of you guys' comments highlighted. Let's see. And this, even some of this stuff might go back a minute because we were talking about the monsters. I know Will Small said the bodies feed the tree, or bodies feed. Yeah, so the bodies feed to the trees. That's actually interesting because the trees could be eaten. All those bodies that were left behind.
Oh, like they were just absorbed.
Yep.
That's a good one.
Blue Guns and Roses says the dog moved the bodies. I personally don't think it's a big deal if we get an answer. And, it's one of them things like they give us so much that we fixate on, and the bodies maybe being moved may not be as big of a deal in story wise. But then again, I'm curious to see how we move.
I never thought about that.
I'm just curious. It's probably the curiosity.
It's just one of those little things. Like there was dozens of those bodies. Victor was a little kid. There's no way he was moving those bodies, even if he moved one a day. How far could he have gotten to move those bodies? It's just one of those things that makes you think, like, is there something that came out and moved them? Did the boy in white have something to do with it? It's just another one of those questions that just makes you think.
But remember, he did move all them damn cars. He said,
yeah.
So I mean, he ain't got nothing but time on his hand. But
very true.
I do agree with you though, because I just feel like it's another thing that they just mentioned. And they're just going to move on from it. Just like the ballerina. The ballerina was mentioned. She had the worm. She was going through all that. And to this point, there's been no connection with it. Just some things that just happened.
And I'd seen her as a direct connection to the music box, the ballerina. So when he broke that, she, in essence, was part of that. So she's broken now. Mm-hmm. Now, whether or not she comes back or not, I don't know. But I seen her as a tied piece to, or a echo, a ghost, a way for the music box to reach out to Boyd, and because the music box had that ballerina, it just seemed to fit. Because when he looked at that music box, he also saw that ballerina, so it was like the way for him to connect it and know that the music box, the cicadas, this is what you got to do. So I think that's why she's sort of gone for now. But then again, I see where you're going with it, because they do kind of leave a lot of these things to seemingly be unanswered. But I'm curious, because even with the pictures, a lot of people think the bile is brought back up in the pictures or the paintings that were in the basement. With the dude with like one-eyed Cyclops dude having the yellow stuff coming out of his mouth. A lot of people were thinking that might be another version of the bile being brought back up. So it's possible some of these little things, even with the bodies, they're slightly giving us a clue. They're like, okay, he did not bury them, but he did take items off of them. So what happened to them? As even MJ Jones says, the boy in white moved them. That is possible. And the dog, the second entity that works with boy in white. So yeah, they could have done a whole, wax on, wax off type of situation. You just put your hands together like, what was it? The movie. I'm like,
Karate Kid.
Karate Kid.
Yeah, that one. But I'm thinking of another one. Dogma, where the chick comes out as God and she kind of rubs her hands together, and she's just like, after the massacre from the angels, and she rubs her hands together, she's just like, whoo, they be gone, and the bodies be gone, and it was as if nothing had ever happened. I know it was more of a comedy movie, but I was going to add it in there as well. But yeah, they got a little bit of that in there. Let's see. Vic says maybe the crows ate them like they did the rats. It's possible little feast for the crows. Shadow Skull says bodies exposed to summer type elements and possible crow/bug creatures for years. So all of From was just feasting upon the bodies until they were no more.
Oh, yum.
I know, right? Angela says, I think the bodies magically disappeared one by one when he put each person's favorite trinket in the suitcase. I like it. Yes. He said, don't worry
Hey,
about
what's up, Angela? How you been?
Yes. I like it. I like the comment. It is very much so a possibility. She also says everyone is going to try to jump out of the lighthouse to get home. Yes. So after they reveal everything, they're going to be.
The whole town gonna be dipping, and that might make for a crazy scene where they're running through the forest and monsters are trying to get them. That might be pretty cool, right?
Mm-hmm.
But who's gonna be the first? Who's gonna be the test dummy? That's like, I'm going to jump out the lighthouse window first.
Dale.
And then we're
I don't
gonna
know
see
why I said Dale, but I don't. Dale.
If they go splat, is everybody gonna be like, okay, yeah, maybe that's not what
Are
we
they
do?
even guaranteed to make it to the tower?
Yeah, because I mean,
No, they got to find the
Venta
tree
is
first.
Spain.
Got to
But
find the
yeah.
right tree. And
But Venta
it's
is
got to let
Spain.
you through it. We don't even know how these trees work. Like, they just seemingly let people through. We don't know if there's like an on-off switch where they're like saying, nope, access.
Hey, who is Dale? Everybody keeps saying, who's Dale again?
He's the one
it's a
that-
pocket dimension.
He's the one, yeah, he
Pocket
stabbed
dimension.
Ellis.
When he stabbed Ellis.
Straight up stabbed Ellis. Like, real bad. Just, I'm sorry. My bad. I didn't
My
mean to.
bad.
Like,
Somebody gonna go through that tree. They think they gonna get out, and they gonna fall face first where they first came from, like back in Fromland. They not, because I mean, Victor says you can take it, but it ain't no telling where it's gonna take you. So I mean, I'm ready for Dale to be the first victim of the bottle tree.
Yeah. See what else we got. We got Nora.
We got a lot of votes for Dale.
I
You
think
think
the
it would be
town
kind of
people are so
demotivating
desperate.
though? She left, came back, so I'm like, okay, what's stopping Fromville for bringing me back if I leave?
True.
Yeah.
Very true. Do you just like become a shut-in after you get out and just never go nowhere? So you
Never
can't
going
see no
anywhere
more
with trees.
fallen
Never going
trees.
anywhere with trees. You just live in a condo the rest of your life somewhere in the city. You do.
You can get everything delivered. You don't have to go nowhere.
You know, Uber Eats, everything. You know, work from home, Uber Eats.
There you go.
I'm
Just
seeing a
live
lot
off
of Dales.
Amazon.
Let's see. Angela says Dale. The Grumbledore says Dale. Vic says, of course, please let Jim be first. Is that how we're going to get the hangman? Is he going to be going through and we're going to finally get to see her vision come true? And shout out to Taryn and his tarot card theory. He's got some good work going on with that. I like one of the newest ones that he was showing us on the other live.
Hey, Candace, can you bring me my phone?
It was actually a very interesting one with Randall. And what was it? Was it the Six of Pentacles?
The Nine of Pentacles.
Nine of Pentacles. Dang it. I'm going to brush up on my tarot cards. Yes, Randall and the Nine of Pentacles. So go check out his stuff, guys, because it was actually pretty good. I'm not going to lie. Whether I agree with this theory or not, them tarot cards, they'll match up.
I know when he saw the tarot cards, he went crazy.
Oh yeah.
Because I mean, out of all the things that Tilly could have brought out, what the hell she bring out tarot cards? You know what I'm saying?
Well, she had them with her since before she came. She got them from who was it? Gertrude or somebody? Who was the lady's name? She got them from
Gertrude. The lady from hospice.
Yeah. I don't know why I said I got her name wrong.
I think that was her name. Was it not Gertrude?
I don't remember. It started with a G, I think. I can't remember what the name was. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Glue Guns and Roses says Dell that went to the village with Jade and Christy. Yes, that is who we are talking about. Sorry, I just was clicking randomly. Let's see what else you guys are saying. Daryl Seymour says people thought the same of the bracelet. Okay, you guys, that's a personal conversation you guys are having. Dang it, I'm off the game now, Dana. I ran out of starred comments. This is what happens when you get off starred comments and you go off script, so to speak. You start clicking random stuff. Peter Griffin says, thank God for Bacchus. She finally said what I've been saying. Shut up with the tarot already. Yes. Yes. Fuck's sakes, people. I mean, I have nothing against tarot cards. I have at least one deck. I've had several throughout my lifetime. I've played with Ouija boards. I've done all kinds of crazy stuff that I probably shouldn't do. But I know you just don't go playing around with that stuff. If I was in a place like this, oh heck no. And I'd be like, Dana, we're gonna have to go put that somewhere. We're gonna have to burn it.
Yep.
Throw some salt on. I'm telling y'all, salt. I don't know what it is, but everything I've read says salt. Salt it. Just throw it on there. A little seasoning. It's fine.
Yep.
All right. Get back to. You got any more questions for him?
Yep. I have one more question before we just kind of have an open discussion with you guys and the chat. Has this episode changed your theories in any way? We'll start with you, Watcher. Did this episode change any of your initial theories that you've had for either this season or for the series?
Not really. I think it's still it's only really like 3 options to me that I think the show can be, and at any moment things can change. So I don't think it's necessarily changed anything. The one thing that I'm afraid about, and people keep writing on our channel too, and I see it even in Facebook groups and stuff, and even on other people's videos, it's just people just hope that we get a good resolution, and that in this time, I was looking at something today where networks and stuff are cutting back and stuff like that. I just hope that the show gets a chance to finish, however long they intend it to be, if it's 4 seasons, 5 seasons, whatever, so that we can get a good, conclusion. And then I hope that it's, worth it. But so far, nothing's really kind of changed my mind. I am curious to know who was knocking on that cabin, or not knocking, but the footsteps and stuff. I'm curious to just get more answers and stuff. And hopefully the next episode, they don't have so many scenes that they have to cut back and forth from, so that we can maybe really lock in and get some answers.
What about you, JH? Has your theories changed at all?
I keep going back and forth with this whole is the whatever Elgin is seeing, is that Fatima, and I guess the cabin. I thought something was gonna happen with Jay breaking the totem pole, but I don't think, from what I see, I don't think anything's gonna happen.
Because they be another one of those questions that we just.
They made it back in town. Next episode, they're back in town.
We have to start having a list. Having a list. But what about you, Baby Clay? Any theories change for you, or new theories that have come from this episode?
That Henry ain't Victor's daddy. That's my theory.
No, I don't think he is either.
I reserve judgment on Henry right now. I don't see a bit evil yet. So I just want
Victor
to
go see that man and be like, "That's not my father," because it just Henry doesn't sit right with me. He knows everything about this town. It is all too convenient how you got the Joni Mitchell song playing, how you got the bracelet in the car that matches Tabitha's bracelet. I don't think Henry is Victor's dad. It's just too convenient how fast he got back into town out of all of these years. Suspiciously.
Somebody was saying that they think he did all that stuff, all them paintings, all that. They feel like he did it. But
I don't think that's Victor's dad. I mean, and I don't think that's Eloise's dad neither. He hasn't not once said anything about Eloise. My Henry theory is I think he either I'm putting him, and y'all could crucify me for this, but I'm putting him in the same boat as Tilly. Tilly do a whole lot coming into town. Tilly said, "Hey, now I understand some women can see the glow of other pregnant women. I'm not knocking that. I'm not saying that that's not true. But Fatima was only 5 to 6 weeks pregnant in the beginning stages of conceiving, and you take one look at her and you know she's pregnant. She came into town knowing that boy was on an adventure. She did all of these things, and I feel the same way with Henry. Henry knows way too much about this town for his wife just to have LSD visions. Like he knows about, hey, the town holds on to hope. When all hope is gone, they hold on to each other.
But
How
what
you
do
know
you
that?
but what do you think it is though, brother? Like because do you think it is like some witchcraft, demonic, just kind of entity stuff? Do you
I
think this is some type of simulation? Because like whenever people say that, it's like, well, if that's the case, and I'm with you, what is this place? What is going on there? If all
Rather
of this
it's a
stuff is happening,
simulation, a game, a test, it's all under the same umbrella. When you play a video game, all you doing is testing your skills out. When you in a simulation, all you doing is, if depending on the simulation, they just basically want to know your limits. They want to know how far they could push people. Whenever you play a game, you want to know how far you can get to the
yeah.
next level.
And then when you say that, like one of the things that I've been kind of thinking about, and somebody put it on the channel, whatever our channel, they was talking about like they never were really clear about what Jay did for his work and what kind of a business he had when he sold that $1 million, $1 billion company or whatever he had. And when he first arrived, he thought that Fromville was a fucking game. He literally thought it was a game, and it makes me wonder, was something that he did with some virtual reality, some game simulation stuff, and then because stuff is happening and it don't make sense physically. You know what I'm saying? And it's like, how do these things happen when it defies, in the realm of what is supposed to be real life?
Somebody is controlling this place. I think it's
Exactly.
multiple people, multiple entities. No matter, it could be a witch, it could be the wizard, it could be a warlord, it could
Or
be
competing forces.
hell,
Like,
it could be witches, warlords, aliens. We don't know, but we do know that somebody is controlling this place. Because I always said, if Boy went into that barn with anyone else besides T and Chan, they wouldn't have tried to capture Boy and made him watch. They would have just killed that person and let Boy go on about his way. But it had to be someone that Boy was close to. We got Christy, we got Kenny, and we got Kenny's mama.
yep.
This place, it tends to put people in place all of the time like a chess move.
Yeah.
And the monsters are always a step ahead.
And then somebody just put a comment. It was like they don't feel like it's a simulation. And the thing is, I kind of agree with that because I felt like that would be too easy of an explanation for a show like this, for it to just be a simulation. But it's like that was one of the I have three things: the simulation. It could be like we were saying, competing forces of dark forces in this like demonic town for some reason. We don't know why. And that's really kind of, and then like even some people brought up like folklore type stuff because like you were saying, man, so much stuff is happening and it's just not possible. And somebody has to be watching from a distance. And I forgot what that term was in English, where it's like a omnipotent being is watching and kind of manipulating things. But it's really weird, you know what I'm saying? And I really hope we get some answers, before the show ends or whatever.
I think we gonna get some answers. This buildup is too heavy to not have the answers at the end. I felt the same way with Lost. When I first watched Lost, which was maybe 7-8 months ago, I didn't start getting where everything was going until season 3 or 4. And mind you, Lost had 20 episodes.
20 episodes a season.
24.
So, and 24. So they packed a lot of stuff in which is still good, but they packed a whole lot of stuff in one season. I think, like honestly, if they did the same thing with From, we would have a whole lot more answers than what we had now.
Yeah. But you see, like, my fear is like, what's that show, Lovecraft Country or whatever that show was called? I never really watched it that much, but I know that it was a super popular show, and then all of a sudden it just was no more. And a lot of people were, really hurt behind that. And I watched Lost, man. Like when first season of From, I was like, oh, the people who wrote Lost, bro. I watched all the way to I think the last episode or the last season of Lost in 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And I was going hard, you know what I'm saying? And then it just got to a point where it was too ridiculous when the people decided they was going to go back to the island after they had escaped the island. And I was just like, what the hell is going on? And they just lost me, and then I just kind of stopped. I don't know I can't remember if that was the last season because I literally watched all seasons up until like that last season.
I feel like Sun had a legitimate reason of going back to the island. She wanted to go back to get Jen. Jack just wanted to go back because it's been too far gone. You know what I'm saying? But that's let me tell you something. I can talk about Lost all day, just like from.
I know everybody knows that
I was going to stop y'all real quick because I did want to welcome Spade from Parkland Media to the stage. Welcome our friend to the panel.
Hey, what's going on?
And what are your thoughts on all this craziness of this episode? Give us some quick thoughts. I know we've kind of discussed a little bit of everything. What are some of your big takeaways?
So one big takeaway is with Randall saying that I'm sorry, I'm being rude. Hello, Scarlett. What's going on, Dana? I think Lord Ravener.
He's not here tonight.
He's not here. Okay. Yeah,
we
sorry
have
about that.
the JH review with us. We have Baby Clay media interaction with us, and we have one part of the new watchers on the wall.
Okay. Got everybody's names. Got to write down everyone's names. Hey, what's going on, panel? Chat. Hello, everybody. You want to be rude? What's going on? So my first takeaway is that Randall, he told Boyd that the creatures are creatures of habit. And when we didn't see them do their normal habitual stuff, what I believe is that the same voice or voices that were talking to Sarah are also talking to the creatures. And that's how the librarian creature knew to lay in the middle of the road for the ambulance to stop and for the EMTs to get out and go to her. If you really think about it, it's almost like everything was orchestrated, just like episode 1, for them to get Randall, like the nurse creature was telling Boyd. Because all the creatures had converged on Acosta and somewhat like, I believe they were somewhat chasing her tourist colony house because maybe the evil entity or something knew she was going to shoot inside of the colony house and actually shoot a person and forget her police training, which by shooting, I think that was it Kelly? Whoever the woman was that she shot, that basically created Nikki. There you go.
Yeah, I was trying
shooting Nikki made food for Fatima.
Mm-hmm.
And just everything just seems orchestrated. And now this tells me that the creatures more than likely have a higher entity that's telling them stuff, including people's names, where to go, and how to strategize. Like when they opened up the the barn to let the livestock out to lure people out of the homes.
Mm-hmm.
Another thing is that because the Thomas on the phone, which I know this not Jim and Tabitha's Thomas, I still think that it's like an alternate Thomas. It could be evil entity, but the fact that, let's say, the evil entity told them that Tabitha was going to need their help. If Jim was not in the ambulance, Tabitha would not have gotten the help she needed because she was handcuffed in there with Henry unconscious. It's more than likely that the creatures would have got the people in the ambulance. So I understand that it's possible Thomas could be evil. Maybe he's trying to gain their trust or whatever. I just don't really see an evil entity really needing to gain anyone's trust, because what we've seen is that the evil entity has the ability, and then plus the creatures have the ability to manipulate people to get you to do what they want you to do. They don't necessarily have to trick and lie to you about it. And that kind of circles back to where Sarah was in season 1. She had the message on her arm, kill the boy. And that was referring to taking Ethan's life in order for everyone to go home, like a sacrifice. I honestly believe that if Sarah would have done that, they would have went home. Just like with just kind of, I'm all over the place. But when you think about it, let's say the Garden of Eden in the Bible, the serpent told Eve, if you eat from the tree of knowledge of good and evil, you'll be like God. And he was right. Because when Eve ate from the tree, nothing happened. When Adam ate from the tree, they both gained sight to where they knew they were both naked and they were no longer children and ignorant.
Mm-hmm.
So evil historically and even when it comes to like mythic stuff, they will tell you things that may harm you, but they're not necessarily lying, even though it may be a half truth. And that's kind of circles back to what I believe as far as with Thomas that I got from this latest episode, that he did tell them the truth that Tabitha was going to need them and Tabitha was going to be in the ambulance. So for the creatures to set up something to somewhat trap the ambulance, and for the Thomas on the phone to know that Tabitha was going to need help in the ambulance, I think that they need to talk to Thomas more and get information, even though they shouldn't trust him. And the last thing I got was as far as the scene with Christopher and the dummy. I know you're probably going to flip to the picture. I'll wait for you.
Yeah, I'm gonna get there. I gotta find it again. I'm telling you, I got so many.
Okay, yes, I'm all over the place.
I know. No, you're
It's
good.
okay,
I've got
just
so many
joining us, no
screenshots
worries.
that it's my fault. I'm trying to look a little tiny. I'm trying to remember. It was close to the end.
Well, if you go back and look at the scene of Christopher sitting across from the dummy, Christopher appears to be slumped over in like a submissive stance or a submissive position, where the dummy is propped up, head up, shoulders back against the chair.
Mm-hmm.
Christopher appears to be kind of like pleading with the dummy, as in seeking the dummy's validation, whereas the dummy's positioned looking like the dummy is the boss. So this whole time when Victor told us that Christopher was a ventriloquist, we're under the impression, oh, okay, Christopher's the big bad, he's the evil. Obviously, he's controlling the dummy, whereas no, the dummy's controlling him. So now it's, if you think about it, okay, the evil entity in the show has been kind of playing puppet master with everyone, and Jasper is a good representation of that with the interaction and positioning of him and Christopher. Look at the chair that Jasper's in. That's comfortable.
Mm-hmm.
That's more sturdy. And then look at the chair that Christopher is in, like a rocking chair, uncomfortable.
Yeah, like he's the boss over here, and Christopher's kind of like,
right,
he's having to listen to him, like more, you could say, like kind of submissive. Like definitely the dude of Jasper looks more of the boss at this situation.
And after the argument was over with that we couldn't really hear, Christopher said one last thing, and Jasper just yelled at him, and Christopher got up. Look at Christopher's face. His face is like upset. But if he is in charge, he wouldn't have to be upset. He would just be like, nah, we're not going to do this. We're not going to do that. So the fact that Christopher got up and got yelled at like a child and left tells me that Jasper may be the big bad. I'm not going to say the whole series, but it would make sense if he was the big bad of the whole series, where he was using Christopher's voice to talk on the radio, or controlling and manipulating Christopher to talk on the radio. Jasper, whatever he is, whether it's a soul attached to him like Chucky, or possessed by something else, maybe some type of mythical creatures inside of him, Jasper could have been the one also to tell Sarah to kill the boy. Jasper also could be the ones talking to the creatures. The it's really endless, especially because we saw Christopher down there in the caves. So now I'm looking at Christopher as being the big bad. Looking at Jasper as being the big bad, and Christopher was or is on the path that Jade's going to be heading towards. Maybe Jasper sees Jade as smarter, because if Christopher's, I'm not trying to put down anybody who's a ventriloquist, but to be a ventriloquist, you're not like Jade creating virtual reality. If you get what I'm saying. So Jade's mind would be superior to Christopher and superior to a colonist. So Jade would be a better person to manipulate to possibly do things in Fromville that Christopher could not do or cannot do if Christopher is still alive. Same thing with Victor. Victor, when he made it to Fromville, he was a boy, like 7. And he appeared to be kind of like slow or something. Maybe his mom did something while pregnant with him. Who knows? But these are minds that someone who's manipulative would like to use, but they're not at the level to where you can really go light years for what you want to do as far as evil. I'm pretty sure that whatever's in Jasper wants to leave Fromville. And the last thing I got was, I think you asked people on the panel, has their theory changed? So My new theory on Fromville, I think Fromville is.
I heard that theory. I was digging it.
Yeah, I think Fromville is maybe like the Garden of Eden or something similar to it. You know, pocket universe, and that's the reason why they can't leave. And that's the reason why it seems like it can pull you in at any time, because we're dealing with a place that moves and shifts, and it can just suck you up like it's a UFO or something.
Okay. I mean, honestly, I'm down for all the possibilities.
Spade. I was digging that lost theory you was talking about the other night.
Oh yeah.
I peeped you. I saw you.
I was gonna ask JH. I know we kind of talked about the ventriloquist doll and stuff, but do you have any other thoughts on Christopher, Jade, the doll, Victor even, and how he's even seeing the doll down here, and sort of how the doll may be moving in the caves, or anything that you want to add to that?
Nothing else right now. Nothing else.
Okay.
Nothing else.
I just want to make sure I'm getting everybody a chance to get their thoughts in there, or anything else that you wanted to touch on.
Perhaps. I think we've hit it on everything, right?
Okay. Sort of last thoughts, if you had any.
Well, we could talk a little bit more about Fatima digging in Nikki. I mean, did you guys see that? Did you guys honestly see that coming? Because I really that took me, but like I was like, oh, I can't. I thought, if anything, I thought she was gonna go to town on that cow. I thought she was gonna see that cow sitting on the counter and was gonna maybe dig into that. I did not see it coming that she was going to dig into Nikki.
Monsters don't eat animals; they eat humans.
I know, but I just felt like they kept showing that dead cow with Donna butchering it. It was sitting there on the counter. I really thought she was maybe going to go for that. I did not see it. I did not see it going.
I told you, Dana, she was supposed to do that back in like episode 1.
I know you did, but I still can't. She
didn't do it. She threw me off with the vegetables.
I can't believe they ate the damn cow. Like I wouldn't have wanted to eat that demonic cow that got ripped open and cut open by a monster.
It made some good steaks. When you starving, I don't know.
I got one for us, guys. I'm sorry. I'm gonna take it off of this one because I know the chat has brought this up a couple times, and I meant to hit on it. And PM is bringing it up again. Yes, was that Jasper on the TV or not? And I'm gonna find that screenshot. I believe I have it, and it was with Elgin when he was walking through. And I believe it's also there back in like season 1 or season 2 in Colony House on the TV. You can see the it's like a news reporter or something drawn on the TV. Let's see if I can find that again.
I'm gonna be honest. Now that you said something about Jasper being on the TV, that lady that was in the hospital window episode 1, while Tabitha was waking up, was not her. When she was looking out the window, that was not Tabitha's reflection. I just want to say
that was a big theory. That's
another person.
I saw a lot of people pointing that out.
Shit,
I personally didn't see it.
I wish I had a better image of it. I think there's a better. I don't know if there, because I stopped it a couple times to try to get a better image of it.
Shut your face.
But
it's like a news reporter, and there's like a little.
Bruh, is Jasper really fucking with these people?
Oh my god!
He's the big bruh. Is that a TV? That's a TV.
Yeah, it's the TV. So when Elgin's walking through the hallway, here I'll go back. So it starts. All right, so he's following her through. And then as she like turns around, there's a quick second you can see it, and it's very much so quick frame behind his shoulder a couple times. And when he walks through, so I had a hard time getting it like a good focus still of it. There might actually, if you guys have one, you want to drop it in the Discord. If you have a better image of it, feel free. I will try to bring that one up as well.
Oh shit.
Yo,
but I believe you can see this back in like season 1 or season 2 as well. I believe there's another shot of this out there. I could be mistaken.
Does this mean that Jasper and the Kimono Lady has a connection now? Does he, every time he shows up, does she show up?
Well, because I think this is on the TV always. I don't think it was just here.
Okay.
when she does this. So this, I believe, that's why I said I think this was back in season 1 and season 2. There might be a shot of this. Chat, let us know. I know you guys know. Matter of fact, let me go back over and see.
Why do y'all think that Jade is the person that sees his doll though?
He does. What you mean? Like, why do you think he does see it? Or
yeah,
because I think he's going down the same path as Christopher. For whatever reason, I'm not sure exactly why they choose who they choose. There seems to be a reason for certain people being choose the way Henry talks about Miranda's story and how she was chosen, and even me and Dana at one point were talking about how it seems like, and she was saying there's could be two sides or two factions, each having their own chosen, and perhaps Jade is one chosen, Tabitha could be another, but I'm not sure though. I forgot where I was going with that. Sorry, I totally lost my train of thought.
I cannot believe that Jasper's in that fucking TV.
I'm still looking at this. Yeah, this image of this TV is blowing my mind. Because why is Jasper pretending to be ABC 11 Eyewitness News on this television? Like,
the Grumbledore dropped a better screenshot.
Yes, I am
the
actually
Discord.
now. Is this one Grumbledore? Is this one from season 1? Because you have 2 of them. One is from last night's episode, and I'm gonna get both of them. The second one you gave me, which season is that from? If you remember, because that's why I said this was. I believe this is here always. It's
That's
not something
crazy.
that just popped up. Give me just a quick second.
I can't believe.
Save those.
Wow, that's freaky. That's some freaky shit right there.
is it a sign on top of his head? Like to the right?
It's like a graph. Like think of like on like if you're doing like a news report or something, they had like a little diagram or graph up there. I'm almost there. I think I'm just trying to make sure I have both of them saved. Yes. Okay. I was trying to make sure I got
See,
that
that's
good.
what the show does. This show fucks with you. This show fucks with you. And that's proof right there that this show likes playing games.
And that's why I tell people you gotta look at the little shit, because the little shit could mean some major shit. Like Jasper being on the TV is not
by coincidence. It's not by accident. It's intentional.
Yeah, it's intentional for him to be on this TV at this time. Was the picture that you showed, Scarlett? Was that when the crow came through, or was that when Elgin saying the Kimono Lady?
All right, so let me see. This one here,
Man, what the hell?
This one here is when the Kimono Lady is walking through and Elgin's following. So you can see it as she walks through, and then you see it behind Elgin's shoulder as well after she sort of like is reaching out to him. Now, the Grumbledore, I believe, yes. So this one is the one from season 1 from the last episode. It says one's from season. Okay, so this one's from season 1. So this, like I said, this image has popped up before back in season 1. I knew we had seen it before. I just couldn't remember what season.
Some hair loss.
And it's weird because it's almost like somebody's on a news, like doing a news report, as if because they didn't have TV, they sort of through their insanity or trying to formulate normalcy, someone drew a newscast onto the screen. That is what I took from it, but it's still trippy either way.
It's trippy, yeah. I never noticed.
But if they did a doll like that, what are the odds? Does that mean the person who drew it also saw this doll, also saw Jasper?
And his golden
at
child
one
says
point or another,
Jasper is controlling the jukebox too. He's trolling everybody. Could be. Is Jasper controlling it all?
Well, Christopher had Jasper while doing like shows and stuff for people, so Jasper hasn't like always been evil. So it could have been just somebody just drawing on the TV just to kind of like make jokes, because it's not like Jasper's been like a secret. So I just think that's just a illustration on the TV, because the TV doesn't work. Same way with the phones don't work. The jukebox doesn't work unless like the entity wants it to work.
They could have drew anything. Why this?
It's a news thing. It's got like the little
news thing.
Oh, maybe it's just a regular person
It's
that
like a
they
news
drew.
reporter.
Yeah.
'Cause
And
he's
then he's
got like
got
the little
the
diagram
graph
back there.
behind him and stuff like weather or whatever or stock market.
Yeah, exactly. It's like the stock market. So I couldn't think of the name of it. I was like,
But the thing is, like the
I
brother
don't have any
said,
money invested. That's why I
this
don't think
show is
about it.
very intentional. For that to be in multiple shots, different seasons, different episodes, there has to be something behind it though.
Just another question to add to the list. We're gonna need that. We're gonna need a notebook. Somebody's gonna have to get a notebook, or we're just gonna have to start keeping track. Okay, another question. Write it down. Write it down.
Yeah,
just add it to the list.
So yeah, that was. I know that was something you guys have been talking about since this episode. But again, like I said, it was. I knew it. It's part of Colony House. There's another painting I think in Colony House that was slightly like messed up or drawn on. Where I don't remember if it was like the beard or mustache or something, or the glasses were added to it. To me, those were things that it's almost like background stuff to show us how people in their own way are having to cope with this place. And in a sense, even that insanity sort of coming through. They're drawing on the items to try to give it some normalcy, or just crazily just drawing on paintings like you would see in a movie or something, or drawing glasses and a mustache on it. I just can't get over the stuff in Fromville. Like the time period stuff is always what gets me. Because I'm serious, man. Some of this stuff in Tien Chin's house, the more I look at it, the more when I go over to my mama's house and I see it, the more creeped out I get. I'm talking the measuring cups, the bowls, the glass dishes. All that stuff is in my mama's house. And I'm scared to go back to my mama's house.
Well, that was something I was thinking about too. So we see that we have these new little cabins. Like that's what really makes me think that this place evolves with the outside times. Because if that was the time era that you had these people living in from at that time, they created the cabins because somebody had to build them, right? They didn't just pop up out of nowhere. Then we moved to the town, and now we have these upgraded houses, so to speak, that are stuck in this time period that we think they're stuck in. The monsters are stuck in a specific time period with their clothing. Do you think that From actually evolves like as the outside world does? We see in the cave paintings that they used to come by boat. We see train tracks, meaning they could have gotten stuck here via train. Now we have the fallen tree that's people get stuck via the car. Like, does this place evolve? Is this place alive? Is it like, is it more than just the monsters? Could this place be the entity? I don't know. I don't know what you guys think.
It's not far-fetched neither. Because a place that you could get to anywhere, a place that you could get to from anywhere and everywhere, I mean, it's not supernatural
they
to
show that
think,
connection.
okay, yeah, this place has...
Sorry, go ahead.
You said you tried to find what connection? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was trying. I'm trying to see where they're going to actually do the connection between the. I guess it's more of a settlement. I know on Perth Comic we were talking in another chat, was saying I was trying to figure out the name for it because I kept calling it a town, and technically it's not big enough to be a town. So I guess it is fair to call it more of like a settlement. And from that settlement to this town, that connection, is it just as simple as, well, after the settlers settled, eventually this town kind of formed, like this was an actual place at one point in time that sort of pocketed itself at some period through a curse, ritual, whatever, something afoul or a mishap causing it to sort of pocket itself. But I really am waiting to see that connection between, now that we have the settlement, which seems to be almost like a beginning point, or at least some sort of a start point in people settling here and from. I'm waiting to see the connections of all these settlements, whether it be that little settlement, the place that Martin is in, and how it started. Was it part of this settlement at one time, or is it completely different? We see at the settlement that there is a house that has crumbled, burned down, destroyed with a chimney and a fireplace in it. So Is that mean that where Martin was, it crumbled in a similar manner? Is it part of that time period? Is it totally separate? How are all of these different periods and from that we're getting to the lighthouse? Is it part of the settlement? Is it there before the settlement? Was the settlement and then that? You know what I'm saying? Like, there's so many of these different places. How are they going to connect the dots of what came first and how they connected to each other? What do you guys think?
Well, they got Fromville in real life. I put it in the private chat if you want to bring it up.
I think they could.
Oh, go ahead.
No, you good. I was gonna say this place. Trying to follow up with what you said. I'm trying to get my.
It's okay.
Well, I know I said a lot. I ramble. I apologize.
Well,
I usually have about 3
Blue Guns and
going.
Roses brings up a good point. She says, "Why aren't y'all asking the hard-hitting questions? When did Colony House get indoor plumbing? Why did they only install 1 bathroom? And why can't Jim stop an 8-year-old boy from running past him?" Those are some good questions, Blue Guns and Roses.
There you go. Real hard-hitting questions that we all want answers to.
How come there's only 1 bathroom up in Colony House?
About the town.
Because on Google,
I
they
understand about the town being called a settlement. Like, it's not big enough to be a town, like a royal area. It's definitely small, you know. And I don't like if this place can move. My theory is this place can move. I'm not saying like it's the island where it's got a wheel and the wheel moves the island, but this place moves. It can come to you or it can pull you in. Like and when you get pulled in, nothing is coincidental. Nothing is coincidental. If you were going to die in Fromland, it was meant for you to die in Fromland and not have a heart attack in the real world.
Okay. And I got something pulled up. I believe Spade wants us to check out.
So this is Fromville, the set in real life, where they have Colony House, the tree in the road, and even like the barn and everything. So the production company or production team, they built everything from scratch. So as far as what I've been told. So what I'm thinking is that from it does move, and sometimes just like it pulls people in, it also pulls in structures as well, because we've only seen just the town and Colony House, the lighthouse, which is in the middle of nowhere, no ocean nearby, and log cabins. We haven't really explored through the eyes of the cast the actual area. So I believe that in the future they may have other colonies, or not colonies, but other like towns and maybe other places. But I agree with, I forgot who said that. Maybe it was Baby Review. Is that
Baby Clay?
Yeah. I know what you mean.
Yeah, maybe it does move, and that's how it's bringing actual like houses and different things in, because everything on the show, it seems like it's from like around the 1950s.
At least of the town that they live in, yeah.
The town they live in, but there's no flat screen TVs. There's no nothing like as far as like modern technology. So maybe the cycle, maybe for some reason that it just stopped absorbing stuff at around the 50s, and now it's just focused. Maybe this town was pulled in the 50s, but like another town, maybe another time period or something.
Definitely possible. And the link you put in the private chat, do you mind if I put it in the chat for anybody else? Because I know it may be hard for them to see.
Oh, it's just Google. Yeah. It's not my.
I figured. I like to make sure. So yeah, guys, in case you can't really see what we got on the screen, I know it's a little bit small. There is the link to that, so you guys can check that out. And it has it marked. The tree, Colony House, everything actually is very well marked on there. For those of us who are trying to figure out things, especially when people are coming and going in and out of town, where they're coming in at, how they get to Colony House from one point to the next. So yeah, that definitely may help with some of that stuff. Let's see what else we got. I'm sorry,
this is
Dana,
what I wanted to say about Fatima. If we don't mind stepping back on that right quick.
Go ahead.
All right, this is my theory. I don't know. It's not confirmed or anything. This is my theory. I think Boyd, the monster that he's going to catch, is going to be Fatima. She still could be possibly pregnant.
Okay.
She still could be possibly pregnant. And I'm not sure she might get pregnant she might have the baby this season, next season, depending on how fast the baby grows. If this is anything like Twilight, Renesmee was born in like 2 weeks. So I mean, Fatima, I think Boyd is gonna capture Fatima because he has to. I'm not saying he's gonna kill her, but he's gonna interrogate her to see if she knows anything. That's my and this will break him and Ellis up again for the second time that we've seen. Because it's not like he is trying hard enough to actually catch one. Not sure what the time span is from when Tia Chan died and to when Tabitha came back, but he had an opportunity to make a deal. Because if they was gonna kill Randall, they would have killed Randall. I'm not saying he's not dead or anything, but if they would have tore him from the inside out, I believe if Boyd would have said, "Let me ask you a few questions right quick before you do anything. Before I take the keys, I just want to ask 2 questions. Let me get these questions." He wanted to interrogate them in the first place. So it's not like it's not like he didn't have an opportunity to ask what he needed to ask right then instead of rushing, grabbing the keys, gone. Because they wasn't gonna kill him. You know they're not gonna kill you by now. You then ran into him twice, a close encounter, and you still haven't died yet. So I think this leaves if Fatima is changing, I think Boyd will capture her, not like do anything to harm her at the time, but he's gonna ask her a few questions. And
you mean like put her in quarantine?
Like put her in quarantine, maybe put her in some type of box. But I like Fatima's going out real bad. I didn't expect for her to eat the blood up until she got shot. Now when she got shot and she was helping Marielle, it's a coincidence how Marielle is stuck in the colony house with Fatima while Nikki is shot.
Mm-hmm.
And
oh yeah, because that was straight for her.
That was straight for her.
Yeah,
because Nikki, I'm sorry, it bothered me the way Nikki was looking out the window, and she's like telling them, "Oh, it's a cop outside and stuff," and she's like seeing this cop shooting with a gun, and she could see the cop pointing the gun at her direction, and she doesn't like try to get out the way. Like she's so nosy, she got her ass shot. I'm sorry. It irritated me that she was looking out that window the way she was. Like she could see the gun. I would never, if I saw somebody pointing a gun in my direction, I'm not going to sit there and be like, well, let's see what happens. Bam, you got
also
shot.
Remember that Colony House has and we got into some conversation on Watch Shadow. Colony House has a really high porch. So that window is not like super ground level, if that makes sense.
Mm-hmm.
So it was interesting that the bullet made it to her, but you know, it is what it is.
Right? Like it just, that whole scene kind of bothered me. I don't know. Something fishy. I mean, she's literally looking in the direction the monster, like, because you can see her face over the shoulder of the monster that Acosta's pointing her gun at. You can see Acosta. I know Nikki's like got her eyes fixated on the cop because she's like, it's a cop.
Yeah.
So why would you, as much as they know about gun safety around here, because Colony House is all about gun safety, how did she not like try to? I don't know. I digress.
If Marielle was the one that got shot, Fatima went and did it. She wouldn't have went in there and tried to like suck her blood out her body. It had to be Nikki.
But look, she's looking. That's the bullet. She's looking right at it. I'm sorry. People never stand in the way of a gunshot. If you hear gunshots, please take cover. Do not just stand there looking out the window.
Yeah, that's dangerous. That's very dangerous. But I think she got moved to look out the window. It was another move in the game. She got moved to look out the window.
She was nosy because she was straight up. See her, she's right back here.
You know the monster's outside. You know, so why would you even attempt to look out the window?
This is the guy.
He's trying to his monster face. Okay, that's decent. He looked like Jasper, the human version.
He's the one that I believe got Boyd in the barn, scratched him up.
Yes,
I think
it was.
I think that's the one that scratched up Boyd.
And then you see
mechanic,
Nikki's little
him.
head back there peeking through the window. Sorry.
Mm-hmm.
And she done cleaned up the blood. I mean, they had her so marked this season. It was ridiculous. From the way she treated Fatima to her cleaning up. What Baka's like, I ain't touching that bird. That's bad juju. I'm like, yeah, they marked her all up and down. She wouldn't make
For
it.
sure. Like,
I'm
nah.
sorry. Sorry,
So
Nikki.
here's a question for you guys. What are you guys most looking forward to for the next episode? Well, we'll start with you, JH. Is there anything you're looking forward to in the next episode?
Victor's reaction to Henry.
You're not my dad. I'm just playing.
More than
That'll be
likely.
crazy. That'll be crazy.
I don't
What about
remember.
What about you? What about you, Watcher? Anything you're looking forward to in the next episode?
If the conversation when Tabitha starts to tell the people that she got out the town, waiting to see how people respond and how they react and how the town wants to move forward. If she does in fact tell them that she escaped the town.
Interesting. What about you, What about you, Spade? What are you looking forward to?
I'm hoping that Sarah and Victor actually go in the cave and find Jasper and talk to the dummy, and the dummy talks back. Because they were already down there previously.
Yes, I want to see that too. I agree.
Yeah, last time they were down there in the cave, Jasper was just like laid out, but didn't move, didn't say hey, hi, Victor, or anything. It was just a dummy. So I'm wondering, will they go to the cave if Jasper doesn't come to life? Now it's what is needed to bring him to life. Will Victor remember? Because the way the show goes as far as pacing, they may have Victor in other places where he never really comes into contact with Henry till like later on in the season. So I'm just not even holding my breath for that. And then because Jim and Tabitha went upstairs in Colony House to go have some private time to chat, instead of Tabitha coming out and saying, oh, go to the bottle tree with the faraway tree. Victor knows where it's at. Go inside. You'll find a lighthouse. I got pushed out the lighthouse into the real world. Instead of Tabitha coming and sharing that, which a lot of people would be like, oh, I'm packing up. We going now. They chose to go off and have a little private time. So I think next episode is going to be just Tabitha looking sad, Jim not wanting anyone to talk to his wife, but maybe we can get Sarah and Victor going on an adventure and coming in contact in the cave.
Interesting. What about you, babe? What are you looking forward to?
Can you guys hear me at all and see me?
Yeah. Yes.
Okay, because I look like I'm frozen, but okay, cool.
No, we can.
You're good.
Good.
What about you, Baby Clay? What are you looking forward to the most?
I'm ready to see how the town go treat Boy when they see that once they find out he left Randall. I'm ready to see that. Like, you left Randall? Why? Donna's gonna be like, why? I'm tired of this. She gonna start fake crying because I think Donna's still sus to me. I don't give a damn how much she fake cries. I'm still got my eye on you.
Madonna.
I still got my eye on Donna. Because all this fake crying and all this, okay, you won't fake cry, you won't crying all this much before you've seen dead bodies before. Damn, y'all slept under the ground and heard people dying outside. But when she find out Fatima is eating all this rotten shit and drinking blood, the real Donna will come out then.
Yeah,
I can't wait to see how they catch her.
You said it before I could. I'm wondering what's going to happen if somebody else besides Ellis catches her. Because Ellis will at least try to keep her safe in a way. He'll still come to bat for her. But depending on who catches her, might be a problem.
Mm-hmm.
I was just hoping he'll be like, damn, I forgot my rolling papers and went back in the room and seen that happen. Yeah, that would have been interesting to see that happen. See, I think Tilly's gonna find her eating blood again because Tilly always finds out.
And you can't compare that to licking eggshells.
Hell no.
No.
If she even try to compare that shit, Tilly is no longer a suspect. I'm about
you
to
can't.
arrest her and take her to jail.
I think we've gone past licking eggshells with
Yeah.
Fatima at this point.
If you would
A
have
little
gave
bit.
her a straw, she would have treated that shit like it was a McDonald's milkshake. I promise you. She would have stuck it right on in the hole and started sucking all the blood out.
She definitely was ready to go sit down and feast.
What
And
about
she
you,
lied.
Scarlett? What are you looking
She
forward
just
to
lied.
next episode? What are you looking forward to, Scarlett, for next episode?
I'm trying to think. I definitely want to see. I know I talked about the cabins. I want to see what's going to happen with the cabins and just that area in general. I'm curious to see Elgin and his mystery lady. What is she tied to originally with the waters? I was thinking the new lake at the settlement, but I'm not so sure with her walking through the hallway, sort of guiding Elgin through Colony House, but she still had the water dripping on her. So is she going to be a ring type situation? Is there a well somewhere around here that we're going to have to find? I don't know. Because she's Japanese spirit. So I'm really curious to see where they're going to go with her story, because she's very particular. Like some of these other things we can kind of say, well, maybe it's this, but the way they are presenting her in the Komodo and everything, she's almost very particular lore. So I'm curious to see where they're going to go with that, because that would be stuff like the ring, Shutter, and things like that, where it was a spirit that died in a tragic way, but she's asking for help. So what happened to her, and why is she looking to Elgin for this assistance? Is she doing this again? Is this just another trap to get Elgin down his dark path? What is the meaning behind all these different spirits? I hope they get to some of those in the next couple episodes. Again, I try not to read any of the synopses. I barely grazed over the first few, and then I was like, nope, I don't want to read anymore. I want to be surprised. But yeah, I can't wait to see where they're going to take this.
The Kimono Lady has to be explained before this season is over with. Like, this is 2 seasons we've been seeing her. She has to be explained. Season.
But like the Watcher said, is it just going to be another thing that they kind of dangle in front of us that we don't get an answer to?
Nah, it's too huge. It plays a major part in Elgin's story. Like, I wouldn't hope the writers would just write this Kimono Lady off. I don't see that happen. If they do, I would be highly upset. I'm not. No explanation for it. You just put this entity in front of a person who was having a dream about this place, and then you don't explain the story of that. I don't see the show is too intelligent for that to happen. The bile bullets, I'll give a pass, but as far as not explaining the Kimono Lady, it plays a major part in things. So
Absolutely.
I don't think that it be forgotten.
You see, Crazy Mad says Kimono Chick is stuck in the Colony House wall. She's got. Let's say I was going for lake, but now she seems to be particular in the Colony House and doesn't seem to be dripping with water anymore. So what is she doing? And Perth Comics says, I want to see Fatima take over running the morgue. Absolutely. That would be interesting.
Oh God.
That would be absolutely. Oh, it'd be a sight. Let's see what you guys are saying. Yes.
Do you guys think that Fatima is going to have this baby before the end of the season?
No.
Do you think it's going to be accelerated?
Unless it's hyper accelerated. No.
You think so, brother? You think? Oh man, that'd be crazy.
I'm not sure. I'm ready to see the demon baby though.
Me too.
I think it's possible for the pregnancy to be accelerated because now she's eating humans.
Yeah.
So maybe her eating like dead plants was like, normal feeding. Because if you notice in the different scenes, they had Fatima looking like gray and pale when she wasn't eating, but then she started eating the dead plants. She started glowing, and she was more vibrant as far as her look. So if we see her more in a happy spirit and we see her starting to go through different type of like personality changes, then we know that her eating humans may be what's needed to feed her ghoulish baby. I just kind of going back to the Kimono Lady. So the Kimono Lady is able to be in Colony House with the talisman stones in place. So now we know the talisman stones only affect the creatures, because even the creatures were talking to Randall when Randall was holding it up and was saying, one of the female creatures was saying, that's not how they work. So the Kimono Lady,
the cicadas, even they didn't stop.
Right, the cicadas were stopped by that as well. So now just seeing the Kimono Lady, every time she touched Elgin, you see sand coming from her hands. Because she looks like someone's taken her soul, like Shang Tsung took the Kimono Lady's soul on Mortal Kombat, because she looks like that. And she said, help me. I think the help the Kimono Lady needs is maybe like her bones are somewhere and they need to dig up her bones and burn them, like that show Supernatural. That's what I think is going on with her. And I think Elgin's going to see more ghosts or phantoms. That's kind of going to be kind of his arc. Another thing I want to see is with Randall. Let's just say the creatures bit him, put the bile inside of Randall, and is turning him into one of them. I'm wondering, will we see what happens if a creature, which I think is going to be Randall, what happens if the talisman stone's up and he tries to go through the door? What's going to happen? Will it be like that show? It was a vampire show that had a woman named Suki on there, and if you walk in. True Blood, right? You walk in, blood starts coming from your eyes because you got to be invited in. I'm wondering, will we see something like that? Yeah, I think it's probably going to take us maybe 3 or 4 more episodes to learn something. From what I've heard, these next few episodes are going to be filler, so no one should be disappointed if they do a bunch of talking and drama and going back and forth arguing, and we don't really get any actual answers.
My question to you about the Komodo girl, because some of the people, I think it was in episode 2 when we see Fatima eat the first nasty vegetables and stuff. It looked like she attempted to go in Colony House but could not when she went to the door. And some people are saying that she tried to open that door and she couldn't open the door, and that's when her attention turned to the vegetables. And I don't know. I think that was interesting. I don't know if it was. I need to watch it again. I watched it once or twice, and I need to watch it again. But I would be curious to know if she is able to go in the houses unless somebody opens the door for her and stuff like that. And then also, like with this, even with this nasty eating and stuff that she's been doing, I've always been kind of shocked how it seems like she's not more cautious. Like when she was eating that stuff in front of Tilly. There's no reason there was a shed right there. She could have ran behind that shed and ate that. Even when she was eating the blood, the whole time I was thinking, damn, somebody might bust in this door. And she wasn't even eating it to the way where she can like quickly like clean her hands off or whatever. Like how long did she stay in that room feasting and eating? And maybe that's something we'll see, the next episode or whatever the case may be. But how fast y'all think this baby gonna grow? Like y'all think her stomach gonna just start growing exponentially? Because then that would look weird to the town people too.
Well, I mean, and then you think about that, first of all, like some women really show. Some women don't show, and they'll go through a whole pregnancy not even knowing they're pregnant, because it's just every woman's slightly different, I think. So it's where they're going to fit her pregnancy in, I do not know. I do think she's pregnant. I think it's going to be a fast pregnancy. And then also touching on what you were saying about her going into the door or not, we did go over that actually a little bit on a stream. And I think it, along with what, I know Jeremy Icefire was saying this as well, that she smelled the crops and that's sort of what stopped her in her footsteps. And I say that because the following episode or whatever, when she goes outside and eats out of the compost pile, who let her in and out of the door? I mean, maybe when she got back in, it was Tilly, but I don't think it was, right? Because Tilly followed after her. So who let her in and out of Colony House on that episode?
When you say in and out, what you mean? What you mean you say in or out?
She went outside and ate in the compost pile.
Yeah.
Oh, after I'm not talking about the episode where she was with Nikki, the one where Tilly catches her. So if she walked outside a colony house and walked back in, who let her in and out if the talismans were stopping her?
I don't know. I mean, they didn't show us, but I mean, the monsters can walk out of a house once they've been let in, right? Because we saw the old lady, the monster that was chasing the people. Once they're in, they can walk out because they have to be let in. At least that's the premise of the show.
But she walked back in and went back upstairs, and Tilly followed behind her.
Did she walk? They showed her walk back in.
Well, she went back upstairs.
They didn't show us, but she got in the house somehow. So are we to assume that she was just able to open the door and let herself in? They didn't give us any answer to that. So I personally don't think that she's going to be blocked by the talisman. I think that was just kind of something that the fandom kind of, because you know how this fandom loves to pick everything apart. So I definitely think they saw that and immediately jumped on it as could that be. But I personally don't think that Fatima is going to be affected by the talismans. I think the talismans only work for these specific monsters, just like I think the totems worked for a specific monster. I don't think the totems were for the monsters we see in the town. I think they had their own cycle of monsters to deal with that the totems worked for. I think that if we're talking about cycles, that each cycle has a different form of a monster. What the totems blocked, I don't know yet because they haven't shown us, but I think the talismans were specifically for these night monsters that we see in the town. That's just my thought.
And Fromville Theory also brings this up, and I know that I forgot who actually had the original screenshot. I know Delcinia sent it to us when we were talking about the door, and there is a screenshot out there, and it's hard. And the one she sent me, it's really hard to see. But the door Fatima does it. Some are saying when she opens it, the door actually does creak open. She just doesn't continue to open it because she smelt the food. Now that's again another one of those where you're gonna have to really decide for your own eyes. And
I thought I'm gonna watch it again because I thought I heard a noise in there. Even with Elgin, they went to the doctor's office when she was sick. Not Elgin, Ellis. I think he opens the door for her.
Yeah,
yes. I'm gonna watch that scene again because I thought I heard like the door, not a door opening, but like her trying to turn the doorknob. But I'm about to.
Yeah, that was going to be a good one, I think, for the fandom for a while. And honestly, I will definitely say I will be the first one to say I'm probably going to be wrong on it. I'm just thinking that it was the food that she was going after. So I can't wait to see if they actually truly show us like her trying to open one of these doors and then she can't get back into Colony House. That's going to be all. I can't wait to see that. We
also have to think about it like this. These episodes were already filmed. The filming's done. So if that is something that the fandom just kind of picked up on that episode, we won't get an answer to it because these episodes are already filmed.
Yep.
So I don't know if we're going to get an answer for that. That might be something maybe a showrunner or somebody just comes out and tells us. I don't think we will get an answer for that this season.
Do y'all remember what episode that was?
I believe it was 2.
It was 2 or 3. I'm trying to remember.
Because you know what I mean? Like that's something that we as like the fandom, what did she get stopped? But these episodes are already filmed. The season's already done. So we're not going to get an answer to that this season if it wasn't already planned and pre-built into this season.
Yep.
So it could just be another one of those things.
I'm gonna bring it up real quick.
I believe the movie blog took it. I believe the movie blog is the one who took that initial screenshot where you saw the door cracked a little bit. But if that's something that we as fans picked up on now, there's no way they could go and like give us an answer because of the episodes being filmed. But I do know if they are at New York Comic Con and they do open it up to a Q&A and I am able to get online for that, I will ask that question.
And that is the image. And again, it's one of those things you can kind of see where like, what is it? The part where the goes into the door frame. You know, you got the middle piece that's on the door frame where you're. See, this is I'm not. You guys know what these parts are better than us. Us ladies, I'm gonna have a hard time describing what it is. But it has like the metal. When you lock the door, it goes in.
No, it's all good. Yeah, we can let it. Because I was just. It reminds me of when I was watching House of the Dragon with some of my friends, and the whole season I was like pissed off. I was like, why don't they go and kill Vagar? Because I was like, she's too damn big to be hidden somewhere. She got to be out in the open. And then when they finally showed Vagar out in the open, we had a big old laugh because I had been saying it like since the beginning of the show.
And look, I still wouldn't be surprised if she doesn't.
Yeah,
because I love these kind of little things because it gives us as a fandom something to sort of speculate on, and then it's a fun like back and forth, right? Because we don't know. Like I don't know, and I can't wait to see. Like, because really, honestly, being wrong about it is so. I love being wrong because then it's like so unexpected, right?
Yeah,
I love that. I love to be surprised.
Yes,
but yes,
unfortunately,
as Vic
I don't think we're
me,
going to
the
get an
door
answer.
hardware and Fromville theory. Yes, the latch. Thank you guys. See?
Oh, I can see your picture now. Maybe YouTube is frozen. Okay, I see the picture now because I went back to the other thing.
Yep. Unfortunately, I don't think this is going to be something we get an answer to.
Yeah.
I think this is just going to be another one of those things that we're just going to be debating about and talking about until the showrunners choose to come out and just straight up answer it. If enough people are asking it. So I think we are just such a fandom that picks apart this show that we are going to see things like this regardless. It just comes with the territory because this is just one of those shows where what are we seeing? What are we analyzing? Everything means something in some aspect. Just look at the paintings. How many different paintings are there? There was layers and layers of paintings. And we only were given one episode where we were told Fatima was up all night looking at them. So is it just another one of those things we're just not going to get an answer to?
A lot of mysteries, that's for sure.
I don't know.
Let's see.
But I know a lot of people in the chat were asking the panel and asking you guys, what are your thoughts on the man in yellow? Do you guys have any thoughts or theories on that man in yellow painting?
It may be Jasper's real form before he was turned into Chucky, as far as into Ben Jasper. That'd be my only guess.
Oh, what episode was that? Was that episode 2 or 3?
I mean, I got a theory. You know, I got a theory on that. I told y'all.
Of course, you got a theory. What's your theory?
I think the man in yellow is an archetype that has been in Fromland, that gave the town hope, that gave the town, faith, and told the town, hey, we going home. Everybody going home. That's the first boy. That's the the man in yellow is an archetype. He's someone that exists there and is going to continue to exist there afterward if they don't destroy, Fromland. But the reason why I say this is because it's been so many hints to what's going on as far as who the man in yellow is. Boyd always has on a yellow button-down shirt. In one episode, he goes to the post office, picks up a yellow shirt, where he stays at, like the little sheriff's office. He picks up a yellow shirt, looks at it, and just puts it back down. Okay, you notice how Father Khatri always shows up behind Boyd? Have y'all noticed that? He never just pops up in front of him like, like Genie. Like, hey, boop, I'm in front of you. He is always behind you. And that's what the red aura represents. Whoever is controlling, this is one of the big bads. Not saying he's on the same level as Jasper. It might be a little bit higher. But the red aura that's around the man in yellow is who's always pulling the strings. That's the entity that's always putting people in danger. Because the man in yellow, it has on a suit from the 50s, from the late 50s, early 60s, maybe.
Got a suit.
Yep. And I think that I think Boyd is the present man in yellow. And the red aura represents the man, the entity that's pulling the strings. Like the red aura means like even if you look at the colors, like yellow and red both could mean danger, but yellow isn't as strong as red. So it's like red to me symbolizes the manipulation that the town itself brings to everyone there. Because it's a cycle. Like we seen it with Miranda and Tabitha. We see it we see some of what happens with Jade, and then what happens with Christopher. And then we see Boy trying to get everyone in town, and everything. Let me tell you something. I think out of every time Boyd finds a discovery or finds something major, he always has on his yellow shirt. He got in the dungeon, yellow shirt. He found the goats, yellow shirt. He found the talisman, yellow shirt. You know what I'm saying? So it just seems it's just not saying that Boyd is the man, is the painting. That's the painting isn't Boyd. The painting represents someone who existed in Fromland before Boyd.
Like Neo, basically like Neo from the Matrix. Like there was multiple
like an
Neos.
anomaly. It's an anomaly in town. Like this person is too strong. He's giving people hope. So this what represents the man in yellow. And they always have to bring in a man in yellow because the town repeats itself. They always have to have the archetype of the man in yellow. And I think Boyd is the new man in yellow. And the red aura is Father Kotri, Abby, the ballerina. All these visions are coming at Boyd behind him. They're never in front of him. Never. Father Kotri shows up. Father Kotri walks up from behind him every time he sees me. Every time.
Like this Glue Guns and Roses says, the man in yellow has a suit on from Curious George.
Right.
Absolutely. Also, I like the symbolism about yellow being a weaker color than red.
I know that I've also heard a lot of people saying that the red symbolized that maybe this is the big red entity we see on the cave drawings.
Mm-hmm.
And the red in the background kind of is the call to that. And this is maybe what his human form looks like.
Maybe that makes sense too. That's not far fetched.
What about you, JH? What do you think the man in yellow is?
I think it may be a vision we just haven't seen on camera yet.
Wouldn't it be some shit if the man in yellow turns out to be fucking Martin? And I swear to God, if we see Martin bust out from somewhere in a yellow suit, that's it.
I know, Dave. I feel you on that.
He kind of reminds
just comes
me
busting out, all
all
nice looking, clean shaven.
I got you, boy. I was me all along.
In his nice
Martin. Look at Martin. I don't like Martin suit. Playing games. But me and Dana, we already sus on Martin. We think he's.
They need to go back to that Martin too, because Martin, like I say, Martin played a significant part. Man, he
died.
Like imagine that they get to the lighthouse, they're thinking they're gonna go home, and walking out of the lighthouse is just the Martin in his nice little yellow suit. Like, where you guys going? What's up? What happened?
And I do like the yellow because, like, it's some of the stuff I researched, and of course, like Woodrow saying yellow. You know, like he was talking about like the yellow pea and stuff. I know some of y'all were saying it's like Jade's color and it means dehydration. And for me, the yellow is really significant of death. And some of the lore I read is particularly of the goddess Melanoi. Some of the ways that they would say her name, or I guess when you like, it would be translated into Quincy, or like basically this yellow color, and it also associated with like honey or bees. So they sort of symbolized with death and rebirth, and that Quincy color, I believe, is what it was called. And it's sort of this yellowish green color, and they constantly used yellow in the show. So I think yellow is more representative of like the death and the death gods, but I could be totally off base with that.
Yeah, me too. Yeah. This man in yellow looks is strange looking. I ain't gonna lie. That red aura is creepy as hell. That red aura is creepy.
I mean, I thought he might have been one of the other like people Jade would see, like Christopher, or maybe one of the like the soldiers. Like maybe he was just another And he's
Yeah, that's
marked
what I
with the
think.
red as saying like the bad side. So maybe we'll see
There was a
him.
lot of. I still got to study that basement. That basement had a lot of shit in it.
Had a lot of night photos too. They're focused in on the
Yeah.
moon. We see the moon cycles on the peach truck. They had that one real trippy one where it's like a tree almost. It wasn't even like a necessarily a faraway tree. Yes, it looked like one, but it did. I don't remember it having the hole in it. But it had the moon very prominent behind it, like illuminating the tree. So there was. I don't know what that was all about. And then even in this photo, behind like the man in yellow, there's this stone structure, which could be maybe where the talismans came from, or even some fireplace, like maybe from the cabins. A lot of different little images, little tidbits they gave us to digest on the season.
How long has it been since what episode 2? Like it's been to what 2 weeks?
I really thought we were going to spend more time in that basement.
We got to.
I'm still upset
Sorry.
that Tabitha came back so quickly. I really thought that she was going to do more.
Ooh, check this out. And Fazzle says man in yellow is boy in white 15 years later. Ooh, okay.
Oh, he upgraded? He went from white to yellow? Could be.
Yeah, you know. Yeah, I guess so. It's possible. I mean, he's definitely got something going on. It is definitely possible. Yes, that bile was yellow. What else a lot of you guys are saying. The man on Woodrow says the man on the radio had a Midwestern twang in his voice. Absolutely. Lee Bradley says, did Martin tell the truth about anything? He's sus. Yes. Like the trees is how they get you, or the monsters are the tip of the spear. So he said a lot of things.
I don't know about you guys, but I still think there's more to Martin.
Martin slander is crazy. Like
he was the
Martin gave the worms to Boyd to kill Smiley.
He was making him do
what
a blood
ritual. What about you, Watcher? You think Martin is just gonna be one and done? Or you think we're gonna see him again?
I hope he's still in the show because he played a very significant part. You know, giving Boyd the worms, and I don't know if the worms are contributing to why the monsters continue to leave Boyd alone. We don't know, but I definitely want that follow up. I want to know who also threw that rope down. Like I said before, a lot of different things that from the previous seasons. I really want to get some answers to those things. And I hope that they just don't gloss over it because I feel like this season is so good so far. Like my favorite season is 1 and 3, more so than season 2. Mm-hmm. But I feel like with season 3, they're giving us so much good stuff that it will be easy for us to kind of forget some of the things that we experienced in season 2 and it just be kind of left behind. So I really hope that they do tell us who this Martin guy was and the rope and just all of that good stuff.
I just want to add to what he said before. I think how they'll bring back Martin is through a flashback. They'll show him like in a flashback for a quick little minute to show maybe how he got to the dungeon or maybe what happened before he got to the dungeon. Because I don't, like you said, he plays a significant part. I don't think they'll bring him back in like a permanent character. I think it'll be a flashback. I think it'll
because at one point I thought maybe similar to like what you were saying about how every iteration of this has a savior, so to speak, if you want to kind of say it. And you know, Martin was in there, and you know they probably couldn't kill him because he had the worms in him. And you know, where did he get the worms from? And are these worms truly a protective factor? Because the only way I guess he could die if he had the worms in it was to just let him rot away and just kind of die down there.
That's why I think it would be a flashback because I think the cicadas were the worms.
Yeah, because like cicadas, I think before they turn into their adult form, they are nymphs. These little things that could even squiggle around like worms, you would say, under the skin.
And I hope they show us what Julie and those 3 people were seeing when they were in those deep comas, because they keep referencing how they saw some terrible things, and then they just cut away. And I want to know, what did you see? Did something talk to you? What exactly did you see?
Well, Spade, you were saying that pretty much the same. That you said there's way too many storylines, too many people, like we're getting too much, and you were pretty much on the same page with that. That we're not getting enough answers for what we were given, and we're given too many new questions before we're getting some of the little things answered.
Yeah, So I tried to send something on Facebook, but maybe it went through, maybe it did not. But yeah, there's three main storylines in the show. There's Tabitha, Boyd, and Jade, whereas everyone else is kind of like supporting them or giving them something to do in their storyline. That's the reason why it seems like we're moving at a slow pace as far as the story, because you got so many different characters to juggle. Look at Donna, for example. Donna's supposed to be the leader of Colony House. What really has she done to progress the story forward? She gave exposition to Tabitha in the beginning that was associated with Tabitha's story. Donna's pretty much been another burger ever since then. Even with the idea of, we'll just say, Julie. What has Julie really done that's significant besides the cicadas getting inside of her to give Boyd something to do for his storyline? You really can do every character like that, to where every supporting character for the three core characters in the main cast, they're just there just to be there, and they really have no significance. So going back to the person in yellow, if this is probably a stretch. This is a big stretch. I tried to send a picture of Jasper. Maybe it didn't go through on Facebook. It doesn't matter. I'm sure you got a screenshot anywhere. But if you look at the man in yellow and you look at Jasper, their facial features are really similar. They have the same ears, the same chin, the same nose. And yeah, if you kind of like look at them.
Where'd you send the picture?
I got one of Jasper, so I got.
Okay.
Is that one good?
Yeah, that's good. I mean, people may be able to see it, but I think that the man in yellow is what Jasper was modeled after. I wouldn't be surprised if maybe the man in yellow used to be Christopher's partner or something, because everybody comes in the From with someone. The fact that he has a red aura around him. I looked up some stuff on Google. There's a play called The King in Yellow. Probably has nothing to do with From, but the color yellow is associated with deceit. It's also associated with insanity and a lack of morality. And I think that's what that red aura around him represents. Also, the expression on his face and the black paint on the left arm there. In the King of Yellow, there was like kind of like a darkness associated with that character. Maybe it's associated with the yellow figure. But I think the reason why we're out of all the pictures that was at Henry's home, this one that we've never seen this character before on the show, I believe this is who Jasper was before being turned into a dummy. And so that my belief is, so far, my working theory is that perhaps this man in yellow wanted to be immortal, did a ritual, and was put inside of Jasper, kind of like on the Chucky intellectual property, the Chucky doll or whatever. Mm-hmm. And I think that's what's going on with the man in yellow. Just the fact that the man in yellow, he looks like he's maybe bald, maybe he had cancer or something. It's probably a stretch, but I do believe the man in yellow is going to turn out that was Jasper before Jasper was turned into a doll. But yeah, just going back to what you were saying before, there are too many characters to develop. Because right now you got Sarah and Victor. They're, I guess, going to go to the cave. Well, that should be a whole episode in itself. But because the show is juggling so many different people, we may only get like 10 minutes of Sarah and Victor, if that. Then you got Victor's dad. Maybe it's not his dad. That has to develop. People are going to be asking him questions. He may not even tell people what he told Tabitha. Tabitha may not tell anybody what she's going through. And I think the writers are doing this on purpose because they're trying to stretch stuff along as opposed to just focusing on just the three core people and just pushing that story forward. Because now look at everything we got going on in season 3. You have the log cabin. Who's doing the footsteps on top of the log? What about the humanoid statues? What's up with that? Then the talisman stones. Is it what's on the stone that's keeping the creatures from going inside of somewhere when everything's been sealed? Or is it the stone material itself? Why were the stones inside of like that structure that Boyd fell into? Another thing is, what about the creature jock season 1 episode? Like, I think it was 1. How did he know Julie and Julie knew him? And it's all these mysteries.
It's a lot of stuff.
Yeah.
And it's
just I wanted to hit on something because you were talking about the King in Yellow, and if you guys, I know Jeremy and Glue Guns and Roses bringing it up. Yes, Jeremy Ice and Fire. Actually, I believe he did a video on that because that was one of his running theories. Is that the man in yellow would be the King in Yellow? So if you guys want to know a little bit about that, I think he actually did a video on that. So go check out Jeremy Ice and Fire for some of that.
Yeah, that's what I was just looking for as he was talking about it. I googled it and was looking at ChatGPT a little bit about it. Yeah, I mean it could go all kind of ways. That's the thing about the show. We'll probably never really know until we get to the end. But like he said, I just the going back and forth is a lot. And then when you pair that, I think this episode was 45 minutes. And that's including the recap in the beginning, which is kind of, taking you back with what happened in previous episodes. Then you got the long intro title. So by the time you finish all of that, you really probably only have a 40-minute episode. And then you're bouncing back and forth, just like he was saying, between all these different characters and then trying to get, solid information from them. It's going to be interesting to see how they move forward with those characters and how they decide what's going to be the important things that they focus on or choose not to focus on.
Okay, so we got, and I'm so sorry if I do not say your name properly, Dre or Arzep. He would like to. Can you side by side Man in Yellow and the TV suit image? So are these the ones that are similar? Lots to look at in the episode. So many things that make our minds go crazy on this show. Is it this? Is it that? Which dots connect? Which puzzle pieces fit together? I don't know. It could be. I mean, I wouldn't discount it because I don't have really a running theory on the Man in Yellow or the TV, other than the TV was just they were drawing on it, and the Man in Yellow is possibly another one of these previous generations of possibly maybe the bad side chosen, mostly because of the red, of course, would make me think bad, and the yellow being possibly death. That seems to be going with one side or one faction, and that's kind of where Dana went with saying that there could be 2 chosen. So I definitely would agree with that. But otherwise, who knows? What do you guys think? Is there any similarities?
Can I ask you, when you were talking about your running theory, brother, about the man in the yellow, potentially being Jasper and doing the Chucky's thing, how did they end up in the town? Do you have an idea about how they end up in the town? Anything about? And I know you said it's a running theory. You probably haven't fully flushed it out, but I would just be curious to know what are your thoughts on why it is stuck in this town, or.
Well, I believe Victor's mentioned to maybe Tabitha in season 1 that when his mom and Eloise came into town, it was the same time as Christopher. So I think it's probably, kind of like a cycle thing, like people have been saying, that cycle, Christopher is the original Jade, Miranda is the original Tabitha, and Victor is the original Ethan, and kind of going like the whole cycle aspect.
Have you guys heard anything about how some people are theorizing that the reason why it seems like the cycle hasn't been able to kind of reset itself is because Victor hasn't died, and that he he continues to survive the mass killing that's supposed to reset everything, and that he's kind of the. And I'm still trying to. I've read something. And I'm still trying to think about it myself, but that basically is that Victor is the problem, that he keeps surviving the mass killings, and that things won't really set themselves straight until he actually dies. And then when they say kill the boy, they're talking about Victor when he was a boy.
Well, when Victor came up from the cellar, the boy in white was looking at him angry, like a kind of like a mean stance, a soldier stance. And maybe he was disappointed that Victor survived. So you could be onto something with that. Only problem with that is that Fromville had to have existed before that cycle, if it is a cycle, because we saw the Civil War soldier,
exactly.
We saw the colonist. So I think that if there are cycles, whoever is doing the ritual, like associated with, let's say, the painting in the cave, that display or that ritual may be doing something that benefits someone, and Victor being alive could have maybe ruined things. I don't know. I mean, your guess is as good as mine.
Yeah.
And the next question is, why would the boy in white have Victor collect the belongings of people? I guess I know Victor said that he couldn't bury anyone, so the boy in white told him to keep the most valuable things of a person. That's kind of associated with, let's say, if you want to commune with the dead, and you go to a fortune teller or someone, or someone who talks to the dead, like I forgot what they're called. They usually have you bring something that's an object associated with who you want to talk to.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
I think that might psychic, right? So that might be. That suitcase may be more important than just simply jogging Victor's memory about what happened with him and Christopher and the Jasper dummy.
Absolutely. Yeah, I think these items, particularly the way Victor talked about the boy in white, he's like, if you can't bury him, take, and I think he even said something like precious to them, like not just anything, something that was something they valued or held dear to them, and bury that. Like a time capsule, right? Because in a time capsule is sort of like something you want to put particular things in, something meaningful that people can always remember. And even more so for these people, it was like these items had a story along with them, right? Because he could remember when he had the watch, he even smelled the watch to remember how this guy ate onions. There's something about that. I'm still digesting that significance, because these items we see in the caves as well. We see the monsters, how they want to have this sort of grasp on things. I think, what was it? Smiley had like a wallet or something with him. They have all the items in the caves that are seemingly collected and buried with them. So what is it about that where it's the bodies don't matter so much as the items do? The items, like the bodies will perish and go away and be forgotten, but these items are what allow us to remember. So it was weird, because it was almost as if the boy in white wants him to be able to remember these people. But why? Is remembering them more important than forgetting them? Is the evil wanting you to forget? Is that why evil takes these items and wants them down there for itself so people can never remember? I don't know. It's weird. Definitely weird. What I want to see where they're going to go with the items. They keep coming up with these different items having significance. The bracelet, the lunchbox, this torch in Martin's cave. Like, what is it about items that is holding the significance and importance in this world?
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, that is all the questions, and I think we are getting late. I know some of you guys in the chat are getting tired, and good night, glue guns and roses. But I don't know, any other thoughts, last sort of tidbits you want to throw in there on this week's episode, or just in general?
My question would be, like, when the chat is over, are we still able to talk offline? Because I'd like to get you guys contact information.
Yeah. As soon as we end the stream, as long as you don't click out of StreamYard, we will be in the back room and do all of that. No worries. But yeah, guys, I think we will probably get ready to close it down. Before we do, as a matter of fact, if you have not voted in the poll, where are we at?
What's the poll? Where is it?
Yeah,
What
because the
what
male
are they
singer
saying?
got first place. The male singer got first place. We gotta change that shit.
No way. No, it didn't.
Yeah.
It's 47% right now. So if you guys do not want that one to be the one to
Hey
win,
man, the people have spoken, man. I'm trying to change the election. Let's cut it out.
It's rigged. It's rigged.
No,
I had this poll up this whole time.
Bro.
Come on. No.
What? Am I coming back? Where did I go? Where did I go? I'm sorry. Did I leave for a minute? Did y'all miss me? Where did I go?
What happened?
I don't know. Woodrow said Scarlet Fever coming back. I don't know. I didn't know I left. Did I go Ghost Robot? I don't know. But yes, guys, you gotta hurry if you don't want that last song because we're gonna end very soon. Last chance. I can't believe we got 81 votes. It's look.
Really? I'm shocked.
Man, y'all gonna make me feel bad. I'm gonna have to do 2 songs. We have to do like the top 2. We're gonna do 2 videos. You know I'm gonna do it, Dave.
I know, just like I'm gonna pull rank and I'm gonna get us our Jim Suck song.
Oh my gosh. But yeah, guys, so hurry up.
I'm gonna pull an executive
get that
order.
Vote in. The poll should be somewhere at the top of the chat. It should pop up. I believe also when you first come in, it should pop up on you. Let me know if it's not working because it keeps telling me we get more votes.
I do want to thank all you guys for coming and being a guest on panel with us. This is what we do these Monday night streams for. We're just trying to give a platform to all the creators out there, big, small, in between, who just love the show and want to come talk with us and just talk with the chat. And so thank you guys so much for making this show on Monday nights for me and Scarlett amazing. We love hosting all of you guys, and it's awesome having you guys agree to do this with us. So Scarlett and I are very humbled that you guys have come on and joined us. JH, you have been with us so many times. I know Spade, you're gonna become a regular. I can see it. I can see it. Baby Clay, I hope that you got some subs out of this. We got to build your channel. You're making great content, and I've been watching your stuff for a minute now, so I am extremely excited that you agreed to come on. I honestly didn't think you were going to even reply to me. I was like, I gotta get him. I gotta get him.
Now we enjoy the show. That's what you guys are doing, and my wife and I, when I was telling her that you guys want us on, she's like, let's do it. Because one of the things that we want to start doing as well is actually doing some lives. We've yet to do one. And, we just hit our little 1,000 subscriber threshold. And actually,
congratulations.
Yeah, congrats.
Congrats.
Thank you. I appreciate it.
Yes. Scarlett and I, we are babies. We are babies in this world. We, like I said, we thank Jeremy every day because Jeremy is the one who gave us our start. He's the one who gave us our original show on his channel when we were just people in his chat. So we thank him every day, and he's going to hate it, and he's going to hear this, and he's going to get mad because he doesn't like compliments, but he knows that he helped us tremendously. He's another one, Real Enigmas and Theories. He's another one who just helped us and took us on, and so the least we could do.
And Lord Ravener himself, too.
Yes.
All those guys
Dark
over
Lord.
there. Crazy Mad. Of course, can't forget Crazy Mad. Because Dana, he is wishing you some best wishes here. Look, Dana, when you interview Jim, he wants to be there for that.
I bet you does. And no, I'll let you get your love tonight, Crazy Mad. I hope you enjoyed your Stofers. Lasagna tonight. I won't give you no hate.
And we have a question, one last question for you guys before we close it out. And I closed the poll down, guys. It's looking like the male singer's winning. I think it went up actually 48%. But we got from Golden Child. Have you guys seen Teacup yet? I have not seen it. It is on my list. I've got to see it and catch up. I know Jeremy's going to do some streams on it, so I got to get caught up. What about you guys?
Yeah,
I've heard about it.
To watch.
I have not. I have heard of it, but I have yet to watch it. But I've heard people say that it's pretty good. It's on Peacock, right?
Mm-hmm. Yes.
Yep, Peacock, yeah.
Nope, I have not
Have you
dabbled
guys
in that
watched
yet.
the Eric and what is it? Is it the Eric and Michael Menendez, the Menendez brother story yet on Netflix? That was actually pretty good.
Oh, I heard about it. It's a couple of documentaries that are on Netflix that are supposed to be pretty solid.
But this is a bio series. This is a bio series. It's not like a docu. Like it's very good. It's hell. It's better than a real life story. I said, damn. Yeah, they actually did a great job with the Menendez brother story.
Okay. All right. Oh, Dana, man, y'all must be doing
What?
some alt accounts. We get more
What?
votes, and guess who they going for?
Who?
Not your favorite singer. We got 49%. Last call, folks. Last call for your singing alcohol.
Damn.
We're going to close it down, and we're going to close down the stream. Say goodnight to you guys. And it's looking like Mel Singer, The Boy Is Back in Town, is going to be the winner.
Wow.
I like all three, so it don't hurt my feelings either way.
I like all three too, but the number two is just number two.
Yeah, right. The number 2. That was the best. That was the best. Was number 2. But it's okay. The chat has spoken. The chat is for y'all. So the chat has spoken, and Scarlett has put the songs up there in her Discord for anybody who wants to download them and enjoy them. They're for our Fromville, they're for our community. So I hope you guys have fun with them. And it would be interesting. I'd like to see you guys make some videos to those songs too, to see what you guys would do with them.
Yeah.
So that would be interesting as well.
Absolutely.
And panel guests, if you like them, you feel free to download them yourselves. It's for anybody in the community.
Okay, awesome.
All right, hey, yeah.
This was fun. This was fun, Scarlett.
I'm trying to give them like a half a minute left to get that for y'all to win your favorite song. Because like, look, we got one more vote. It went down. You know, it's now down to 48.
It's okay.
But, all right, guys, I'm gonna close it. Here we go.
Hey, y'all stay on because I wanted to get y'all contact.
Yes, we will stay on just as long as you stay on till after the outro closes. We go into a back room.
Okay.
Absolutely. So thank you all for joining us again. It has been an awesome night full of conversation and just all kinds of crazy theories that I love to hear. So until next time, guys, keep them tinfoil hats on. Keep a dream catcher nearby. Hang the talisman, lock the doors, and I don't know. We're gonna have to add something else to this, Dana, because at this point it ain't keeping everything out. I was gonna say stay safe, but cicadas get past that. We're going to have to put something else out there. But until next time, guys, stay safe.
Stay awake.
Stay awake. There you go. Get the coffee. Get something.
Yeah, drink that coffee.
Oh God! Now we got to go Freddy Krueger rules. Can't go to sleep.
Why'd you gotta say it?
I'm sorry, dang it, I'm sorry.
And you go to sleep, you wake up with a hole in your chest.
Oh my gosh!
Oh my God, Spade! Oh God!
Dana is not a fan of Freddy. That is one of the ones that she is least favorite. I forget all the time. Sorry, it's my favorite though. See, but anyways, thank you all again for joining us, and until next time, stay safe out there, Fromville. Bye, guys.
Bye, guys.
Paint me a scene, city in color, the way that you see, the way you see it. Don't you wish that I could give you? I could give you everything. 1, 2, 3, and my heart is racing. Can't fall asleep, I got my mind in a throw. Weightless, floating through the day. Trust that I'll be okay. I'm happy alone, but a little waiting for you. Wait until you realize. Waiting for you. Wait until you realize. If you wanna run ahead, I'll meet you where the water meets the earth we cling to. into